How's everybody doing, folks? Welcome to September the 17th, Saturday, September the 17th, 2022, live stream. Today's special guest, we have Mark and Terry Finley from Escaping the Empty Nest, and they will be here shortly. But in the meantime, we're going to catch up the chat and say hi to everybody. So when they do come on here in about 15 minutes, we're going to be ready to rock and roll. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of housekeeping here. Okay, to help speed the live stream up. You know, I like to address each and everybody's comments when they come up. You know, I just have to do it, and I want to continue doing that. However, while we're doing during the interview, if you have a question for Mark and Terry. Okay, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to put a capital Q, okay, and then your question. That alerts me, because, you know, visual, that you have a question particular for Mark and Terry, okay? That helps streamline the comment process. In between, you know, during the interview, I may or may not get to the hellos and all that stuff, but I'll at least put it on the screen, so you'll see it on the screen. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you. I just want to streamline the interview process and the questions for Mark and Terry, so we have a better and informative time here. So instead of going back and forth. Now, once the interview's over, you know, it's never over. You know what I mean? But if I'm not interviewing anybody, then it's free game. You know. But if you got a question, again, put a capital Q, and then your question, and that will alert me that they have a question. Well, with that being said, all right, welcome Saturday. Let's go straight to the chat here. Who we got here? Nick's first. Hey, 117 days and a wake up until my flight to London, and 118 days so I start the train. Man, Nick, I'm so happy for you. Yeah, you don't know how happy I am for that, to see this happening for you. A little disclaimer: once you go, you're hooked. You'll be going back. That's a fact. Jack, where's your name, Nick? Just kidding. I cracked myself up. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, what? Hey, totally understand, Kenneth. I don't know why you can't tag on the phone. I wish you could. That would be nice, because sometimes when I'm away, you know, I'm at people's live streams and you can't tag, and you got to say what you're saying. Well, I can't tag. You know, I do the same thing because you just feel obligated. You know, but yeah. Sure, man, Kitty, you're awesome, sir. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate you sharing. You always share out my Facebook stuff, and not only mine, but everyone else's. You're all over the place, Kenneth, and for that we are all grateful. So thank you on behalf of everybody in the YouTube world. Daniel, hey buddy, how's it going? Third ID. Hey, I didn't wear this on purpose, but I do have my artillery shirt on. Oh yes, sir, Bob. Let's see. There we go. Got my cross cannons. All right. The journey waits. Hey, you don't know how bad I would have loved going with you today. That would have been so cool. And I appreciate the thought of you asking to go to that festival. Because if I didn't have things I had to do this morning, I would have done it. Okay. I would have. Sorry I missed that. But I understand it's 2 days, right? I can't do it tomorrow either. Wow, I can't do it tomorrow either. Wow. Okay. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Man, how are you today? Always a pleasure speaking with you. We had a nice conversation today. That was great. Blaine, I'm watching the background while doing my chores. Well, good, man. So Mallory's got you hopping, huh? What kind of chores you doing? Are you at home doing chores? I guess so. I'll take a guess here. I was saying hello here. Togo's waving hi. There we go. Moin moin. I'm up. Yes, the keg is tapped in Munich, Germany. They tapped it today, meaning the start of Oktoberfest. And the mayor, the Bürgermeister of Munich, every year when they have Oktoberfest, they tap the keg. Okay, But from that, it just goes on. The food at Oktoberfest is great. Um, you think of beer. It's not. Yeah, there's beer there, yeah, but there's all kinds of food. It's like actually a family affair. You got a big fair there. It's a family affair at the fair. Oh, I crap myself up, like I say. Anyways, but there's more to it than that. But anyways, it starts today. So thanks, Yorick. Hello, Darren Marketary. Hey, Allison. How do? I say Reggie and Cheryl. There we go. Yeah, it's beginning. That's right. Ooh, my chat just jumped. That's right, Yorick. That is right. Moin, George. Hey, Allison. Good deal. Howdy. On says, howdy. Hi, all. How's it going on? Hope you're doing well today. Good morning, good afternoon. Hey, Anka, wie geht es dir, meine friend? Wow, that's cool. Glad you're here. Anka had her first live stream last week, and that was really cool. Anka, you need to do more of your live streams, okay? You need to do more. You make a good host. So, yeah. Lucky Dog. Hey, how's it going there? Cool. Jack Scupper. Man, that's awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. That's really cool. How y'all doing today? Moin, there we go. We're saying hi there. Good deal. Skip it. Thanks, Moin. My guest that will be coming up here shortly, and this is their YouTube channel. So if you want to get a little jump ahead, okay, make sure you go to this link that my friend Blaine here put on there for me. Him and 4-man partner channels, and make sure you click it. And if that's something that you like, I suggest, hey, hit that button. Heck yeah. I'm not afraid to say it. Subscribe to him if you like it. If you don't like it, don't subscribe. I'll say it again. I've said it a million times. I'm not a sub for sub guy. I'm not. But I am. If you like somebody's content, hey, go ahead and do it. But if you don't do it, because eventually you're going to get tired of the notifications, and then you're going to get tired of it. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to unsubscribe. So that's how I roll with that. Hey, Lucky, there we go. So hi, it's a bunch of highs here. Daniel, there we go. We're just waiting our turn. Hey, that's right. Coming up. Did someone say spaghetti eyes? I believe you did. I believe you said spaghetti eyes. All right. Let's see here. Zwiebelmet Rosen. Yes, I had it. Keyword had it. I had it. Dankeschön, meine Freund Jörg. Und Anka. Yes. Yeah, my kapoo? I don't know. Hey, that's cool, Kenneth. I appreciate that. Hey, Sue. Lucky dog. You're a lucky dog. Look at Allison. There you go. Allison, I love that picture. You jumping out. Now, where were you when you took that picture? I know I've seen it before, but where was that? I might have known, but I forgot. Let us know in the chat. Everyone, there we go. Skipping them minutes, saying hi there. Good deal. All right, 6 minutes. They'll be coming up here, so I want to get this chat caught up so we start off fresh with the cues. If you're just coming on here, our guests, Mark and Terry Finley, from Escaping the Empty Nest will be our guest today. I say our guest because they're our guests. We're a family of one. How about that? That sounds pretty good. Where's that violin? We're a family of one. Just having fun. But anyways, make sure you put a capital Q and then the question. That will streamline the process, the question process, or whatever you want to ask or say. If you don't have a question, even if you don't even have a question, you want to say something, just put Q. Okay, that notifies me that you have something there. Hey guys, I'm doing my. Yeah, Anka. We want to see more of that. Hi, Leonard. Leonard Family Fun. Hope you're doing well today. Awesome stuff. That's a very nice picture. I like that picture, your profile. Seeing couples dressed up there. Ein Mass. Ooh, that's expensive. 14 euros for Ein Mass? Wow. Yes, I see. Boy, I'll be eating a lot of food. Lots of food. Good time. Universal is the best anywhere. I love it. Yes. How's it going? Corn? Oh, excuse me. El Gitano. Sorry. Guten Tag. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, guess what I see? My friend Klaus. Look at there. Hey, how's it going there, Klaus? Wie geht es dir? Ich habe Sie meine Penguin. How do you say penguin in German? Penguin? How do you say penguin in German? Can someone put that in the chat? I don't have time to look for it. Look it up right now. Let's see. Maui skydive. That's what it was. Thank you. Digging for health. Hey, well, welcome aboard. We all should be digging for health, right? Got to dig for health. Absolutely, in all things. So now, here we go. Now, one thing I've been finding out. Now, YouTube has a broad of interest. Okay, one of the interests that I've been looking at a lot lately. Can I speak today? Is detecting. Okay, I have got this passion now, which I have not done yet. I've seen people do it, and I think I tried it once a long time ago, the headphones on and everything. But metal detecting, I'm really forming an interest of metal detecting. So it's a new hobby that I've been looking at. I've been looking at all kinds of metal detectors, and trying to figure out which one to get, which one to purchase. I mean, there's cheap ones, there's special ones, and that old saying, you get what you pay for, is very true. So I want to be careful about that. But I'm going to start digging in the rules for metal detecting, and Germany especially, and then see what I could do there. So I don't know, just a little thought there. I said, hi, Anka. Okay, penguin. There we go. Not different than the U.S. Oh, thanks, An. Okay, appreciate that. That's what I can dig in the hill to do. Oh, okay. Yeah, we all do. And when I saw the digging, that made me think of that for sure. Well, we're less than 3 minutes away from our friends Mark, and Terry from coming up here, and I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be so cool. We've got a lot to talk about. Their latest video, all their videos are just phenomenal. But the latest video, it's yummy good. And it has to do with, guess what, guys? Can you guess? Spaghetti ice. Oh, ich liebe spaghetti ice, ja. Oh, und Schweinehaxe, Rouladen, Deutschland. A little bit of everything. You to my next live stream, boss. Okay. Well, hey, you just let me know, Anka. There's a hi there, Sue. An animal and tails. Last night we had a tailgate. I went to a high school football game. My wife's a high school teacher, so their school had a high school football game, and we went there. Well, the faculty had a tailgate, a huge tailgate. They had barbecue, beef, and roast, and pork, and all that stuff, all the fixings, everything else, and the dessert, everything. And it was so good. And these are one of the last of the Cokes I have left. So this is the Coke Zero. I've been drinking Coke Zero lately, trying to mind my P's and Q's. But we're getting there. Dona, Bratwurst and Bratwurst. Oh, yes, mint Sif. Yes, ich liebe Sif. That's right. Folks, we are less than a minute away. We're about to have the folks called this Escaping the Emptiness on here. So it is. They are coming. All right. Let's see. Morning, Lucky. Now remember, guys, just a little cap. Here it is, right here. Cues before the question. Eins, zwei, drei. Hey, guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Oh, Terry said something. I was like, I heard you say, hey, then where'd Terry go?
Mark couldn't be here today, so this is his brother Mike.
Hey, brother Mike, what's happening, brother Mike? Hey, here's a mic. Oh, never mind. I'm just corny. Man, so how y'all? You doing well today?
We're doing fantastic today.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Yes.
That's the way it should be at all times. It should be.
Yep.
That's right.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yep.
Oh, you're very welcome. Before we get started here, I'm going to be, you know what I normally do. I'm going to show everybody on here. But when it comes to a queue, and the folks, I'll be showing the chat just like this. When I see a queue and the question, I'm going to stop there and have them answer the question. And then I'm going to keep the chat going and then just go from there. So
right.
Absolutely. So I saw your. Oh
yeah, we're so excited to be here today. We went out for German food last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have my German pretzel and my mustard, and my lunch today. There's German potato salad, and I already ate all of the Wiener Schnitzel and the Jaeger Schnitzel. Yeah. And cordon bleu. There's some home. Yeah.
There's some spatzel in that bowl. So that's her leftovers.
That's my lunch today.
I ate all of mine at the restaurant last night. I couldn't leave any of that on the plate.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna look my computer again. Okay, got it. I feel better. I feel better.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing those pictures. That was really cool and everything.
Yes.
You remember this? The place we tried to go when you were here a year and a half ago, and we made reservations, drove all the way over there, and it was closed because of the ice storm.
That's right.
So
Everything.
Mark called and made reservations again just to be sure, and we got there 15 minutes early, and the place was practically empty.
There's like 3 cars outside.
No way.
But it was open.
Yeah,
it was open. So, but yeah, if any of y'all near Fort Worth, that we had been to several German restaurants here in the area, but I hadn't been to Edelweiss since I was in college 30 years ago. She had never been there for some reason. So Fort Worth, it's southwest corner of Fort Worth. It's a place called Edelweiss. It's a neat place, both in atmosphere and
Edelweiss. There you go. Terry's got this way going. All right. Did more people show up after you showed up?
Yeah, steady trick. It wasn't anywhere near as busy as we thought it would be. We asked about live music, and they had a piano player there playing some music, but we asked about the live Oompa band, and they said they used to have it on Friday and Saturday night, but now they've just gone to Saturday night only. So, which means we're going to have to go back to catch that Oompa band.
Tonight.
That's right.
Tonight?
Right.
Oh, tonight. News to me. Okay.
Wow. Well, you know what? I have a Delta credit. I'll catch a flight and I'll go with you tonight, man. Hey, don't put it past me. You never know.
Well, you do need to come back to you sometime.
Got a question for you. Which cities do you travel to?
Name it.
No, we haven't been to that many in Germany yet.
Okay, no. Well, in general, we're more like around, more than just domestic or one country. Since 2019, we've done Washington D.C., Grand Canyon, Monument Valley, Denver, Hawaii, New York, several spots here in Texas, Boston, and our Europe tour that we're documenting right now on our channel, which is Paris, Strasbourg, Karlsruhe, Munich, Salzburg, Hallstatt, Venice, Berchtesgaden, Venice, Naples, and Rome, and then back to New York. So, I probably forgot a few in there. We did the Kansas City thing. So we try to go all over.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I tell you what, you missed some of my favorite names like Berchtesgaden, Newson. Oh man, all those places.
Beautiful.
Yeah, in fact, Berchtesgaden video is coming out this Friday. We haven't made it yet. We haven't. We've shot it obviously, but we haven't put it together. So we need to figure out what we're going to say about Berchtesgaden, and if we're going to do 2 videos. She suggested doing one on Mount Jenner, and then another on Lake Königssee. We will just have to see if we're going to combine those into one or do 2 separate videos.
Kings Lake, and that is so beautiful, and you get.
It really was. The view from Mount Jenner was just incredible, and we experienced something that I guess for Americans it was just kind of crazy. It looked like they had a preschool class field trip to the top of Mount Jenner. And there was an overhang that kind of went down a platform, and they had all these little kids up on the platform on the side of the mountain. And I was like scared to death to go near it because I lose my balance. I'm falling, and there's like 24-year-olds on this thing just being perfectly good.
Yeah.
Took their picture, and then they all got off, and I'm like, Here in America, I think that would be such a big liability to take that many kids on the side of a mountain like that.
An American preschool teacher would get fired if they let their kids get within 40 yards of a ledge like that. And they had these kids just standing, 1 foot from the ledge of a mountain. It was crazy.
There's places in Germany like that. On you're especially walking around the Alps, you're like, why anything here? But then you'll be out in the middle of nowhere and everything. Then all of a sudden there's a handle, like built into the rock, but you're walking along this real thin line. I'm like, if I step off one, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I have balance issues. I get terrified of going anywhere close to one, feeling that I'd be the first American ever to fall down Mount Jenner or something. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Have you been up on Mount Jenner?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that you got the cable car that takes you to the top, and then once you get to the top, there's a nice little visitor center there. But then there's another platform.
Good bratwurst too.
What's that? Oh, there's another trail that takes you to the summit, and we started to go up the summit, and we realized about maybe 1/10 of the way up the summit. It's like, we've got to walk all the way back
and all the way back.
And all the way back. And we were already exhausted because at that time our trip was, we had been wearing ourselves out in every city we visited. So, we just don't have fresh enough legs to do this. So we got up, like I say, about 1/10 of the way.
Hi, Patricia.
And turned around and came back. Took a picture of what we attempted to do.
By the way, Kenneth, thank you for putting the link to our channel up there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was just about to say that. It was coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, Blaine. I think Blaine did that too, or something. But thank you for that. So we're gonna be.
Hi, Angie.
We're gonna be wrapping up Germany here. 1 or 2 more videos, and then heading to Salzburg, where we have a few more videos. And so Salzburg being, it's almost Germany. it'll be fun content too. Salzburg we just loved.
Oh yes.
We were talking the other day of trying to say, okay, of every place we visited, what place do we need to go back and spend more time? Salzburg, I don't feel like we spent too little time, but we want to go back there anyway.
This was very beautiful.
Munich, we both agree, we just didn't spend enough time.
We didn't have enough time there.
Yeah, we basically spent just about 24 hours or less. So we definitely need, and that was kind of the plan all along, just pass through Munich and figure on going back there someday for just a Munich trip, or Munich and Garmisch and that area.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, my vacation time for the employer that I work for is limited to like 3 weeks a year.
Hey, your boss is on here.
Anyway, and so in order to be able to do a trip like that, we had to decide, okay, if this is our bucket list stuff, what is some of the main areas that we have to see this trip? If we don't make back, it would break our heart not to be there. So our big areas were Paris for longer, were Salzburg for longer, were Rome for longer. And so, we found places that we said, yes, we definitely need to go back here. We need to go back to Strasbourg. We need to go back to Munich. So now that becomes down our list. So the next times that we go over to Germany, we're going over for Christmas market this year, which we're not going to hit Munich. But we have a list now of places in Germany that we definitely need to go back and spend more time.
We're definitely looking forward to the Christmas markets because we're going to get to see Nuremberg and Rothenburg and Frankfurt. So we're going to check out that part of Germany, but definitely return to Munich, and the southern Bavarian part is something that we're going to spend a lot more time in.
Angie, we did not get to go to the Eagle's Nest. We just didn't have time. That's one of the things we wish we had more time for. We
made the choice between, we had the choice with the time we had, which is basically 1 day in that area. We had to choose between Eagle's Nest or Mount Jenner. And since Mount Jenner was so close to the lake, we decided to do both of those at the same time.
Yeah. Good choice. Yeah. One thing about Munich, I've been going to Munich for years, and I'm just drawn to that city as far as city. Now, I love the small towns too, like Garmisch. Of course, I love all that stuff. But for city, I like Munich. There's so much to do there. So many museums, things to see, things to eat, things to do. The oddness of being there is just wonderful. Yeah. Same with anything. I love going back to the places that I love to be at, but at the same time, I like going to places I've never been before too. I want to, mix it up a little bit. And that's the thing when you take people to Germany, that are with you that never been to Germany, you're back at the same places, but it's like it's fresh every time, because I always learn something different, no matter how many times I've been there. Like there's places in Munich. I've been going to Munich since my first time in Munich was 1988. I've been going there a long time, and there's still places I haven't been to yet in Munich that I want to go to. So my next trip to Munich, I'm hitting some places that I haven't been to yet, or spent very little time there, which is really, really cool. Right. But Berchtesgaden, oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. And going up there to that mountain and the right there in the Berchtesgaden Park right there. I mean, my goodness, the views are just wonderful. And I saw your pictures. I can't wait to see your video.
Wasn't that the place that we found the best muffins when we got off the train?
Oh yeah, there was a little bakery right outside the Berchtesgaden bus station. I guess it's also the train station.
Yep.
Yeah, and just a little bakery there in that little strip mall right there, and they had the best like triple chocolate muffins I think we've ever had in our entire lives. Absolutely amazing. So we just sat outside the bus station there and just ate our little breakfast. And one thing that was nice there at the bus station, they had a free public bathroom. That was clean.
The first. Yeah, it was clean, and it was the first one I think on our trip that we didn't have to pay.
That is free in there.
Yeah. So we were really excited about it. And like I say, that was that we're going to do our trip a little out of order. We actually did Salzburg and then went back to Berchtesgaden, but for purposes of the videos, we're going to finish up Germany before we go to Salzburg. So,
sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. But make sure you spend more time in Berchtesgaden too, in the city center.
Oh yes, that's the other thing we
didn't have time to do that.
Yeah. There's tons of history there. Have you ever seen Band of Brothers? Okay, there's a lot of sceneries in there, and you'll and if you're familiar with those movies, when you walk through there, you'd be like walking through the movie, but because it's not a set, it's the real thing, it's right there. Same with Eagle's Nest, that scene there, the eagle, all that stuff. But it pops up. But you mentioned Christmas markets now, Rothenburg. You'll be going there for the Christmas market.
Yep, and 2 nights in Rothenburg, 2 nights in Nuremberg.
2 nights in Nuremberg. Good. Nuremberg is, I'm sure you know this. It's the original Christmas market.
Mm-hmm.
Very first one where it first started, and my very first one. I know I've told you, but I'm telling everybody. My very first Christmas market ever was in Nuremberg. I was 8 years old. I lived in Gießen. My dad and I took a train there. My mom had to work that Saturday, and went to the Christmas market there in Nuremberg. And I went there several times. I remember my dad. That's a memory. My dad's gone, so that's a memory that I have that I hang on to and that I remember. Especially riding the trains in Germany. I just think my dad was my mom and dad and I went all over the place on trains.
Well, I mean that's exactly the truth. And I work for a church, so there was a lady that came up to me that's seen some of our videos at the church, and she's in her 90s, and she brought me a couple of books.
Right on the other side of that cup. Yeah, she's going to show you some books that we got that we were really excited about.
This was one of them that she gave me from when her son was stationed in Germany. Where's the other one?
It's right there. It's right underneath it.
And here.
Yeah.
And here's the second one. She has 3 books because she's been here to Rothenburg 3 times while her son was in the military. And she said, well, I have these 3 books and I don't need to have 3. Cool. But here I'll give you these 2 because I see that you're going to Rothenburg for Christmas market. And
nice.
You've got some really old map of the city.
Right. Oh yeah, look at there.
Stuff like that on there. It was so cool. But a lot of people that are in the U.S. military that get stationed over there in Germany. I mean, that's just one of the things that everything I've heard people say. Oh yeah, we just hop on a train and we go to here for our weekend or whatever. And so it's just really cool to see however many people that I'm surrounded by that have been over there and have done the same thing. It's just they're telling me all about all their experiences and stuff, and so it makes me excited to go see it for myself.
Just for the record, folks, no one said that Austria is not Germany, whatever, all this stuff and everything. Austria is Austria and Germany is Germany.
Yeah. I said it's similar.
Is only like a 20-minute train ride from Berchtesgaden. All right, but they say they're stopping in Germany and then they're going to go to Salzburg. So
I think earlier I said something like Austria is similar. It's like, it's similar to Germany.
Similar, with the language and stuff like that. But
of course. Yeah, we enjoyed both. We spent more time in Salzburg, so we got a better feel for Salzburg than we did Munich. But that's why we plan on going back to Munich.
Yeah, I mean, most of my family heritage is German. I mean, I'm like this small part Irish, but everything else is German. And so Germany really called to me. Especially y'all saw the video, or hopefully you've seen the video that we did in Karlsruhe, because that's where my grandfather grew up, and until he was 18. And so it had always been his dream to go back. And so since that was so important to him, me being the oldest grandchild, I remember the most about what he used to talk about it. And so that was something that I had to see too. Yeah. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Karlsruhe, that's not so great or whatever. But to me, it was personal, and it was really cool to go in and walk in. There was a store there now that is where he used to live. Yeah. So
you mean the store that used to be there?
It used to be there.
Yeah, then now it's closed.
We found out that after we left, it closed. So I don't know if I said something or what. I don't know. But yeah, it's a military town. A lot of people there. I joined groups that were in Karlsruhe to talk to some people, and yeah, there's a lot of people that are there are military or have been stationed there in the past. But it was something that I wanted to do. I had to do. So
yeah, it was a nice visit. We left Strasbourg actually on a Monday morning, and then went to Karlsruhe. Got there obviously still Monday morning. It's an hour.
Love that video, guys. Check out that Karlsruhe video of Escape the Empty Nest. That was great. That put a tear in my eye.
Oh.
That was awesome. So thanks for posting that.
Tear in my eye, seeing pictures of my grandfather that we were putting on there.
Yeah,
he's been gone. Cool. He's been gone since 1983. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
So yeah, we spent 3-4 hours in Karlsruhe, and then took the train to Munich with a layover in Stuttgart, and longer layover than imagined. We got delayed about an hour there for some reason, so we got into Munich later than we thought we would. Yeah. And we had planned on doing Dachau the next morning when we woke up, but since we got to Munich later, we just didn't get to do the things in the city center that we wanted to. So we decided, okay, let's save Dachau for the next trip. So we just went back and visited more in central Munich and saw the gardens and everything there. So
exactly.
We never actually even left, the center of Munich while we were there. So there's a lot left for us to see, believe me.
Right. There's a lot of World War II history all over, and like Angie's saying here, brought us around. They had tons of buildings, like old Nazi buildings that they did tear down. Tons of history. I try not to bring that up, too much, but just a little bit, because it is what it is. It is history. We have our own history too.
Right.
So I'm not bashing anybody or nothing like that. But
if we can get to Nuremberg in time, we want to see that area, the what do you call it, the parade grounds.
Yes, and the documentation center.
Exactly.
Big museum. I spent 5 hours in there, and I didn't have no time. I closed the place out, and then I took a group there. We spent a couple hours there too a few years back, and I could have been there forever. But when you're in a group, I'm trying to be conscientious of people's time, because not everybody wants to spend 5 hours in a museum. I'm a museum guy. I read everything. So is that Piglet coming?
That is Piglet.
My mom even asked about you, Piglet.
That's your old friend Piglet.
Yep.
That's right. Piglet's my buddy.
Yeah.
Tom had to call and check in on his buddy Piglet today.
Yeah, we talked to Tom this morning. So.
Oh, that's cool.
The neatest thing about Lake Königssee, and maybe you told us, I had just forgotten, that when you take the journey down, you get off the boat, and then there's that long path you have to walk. And I'll be honest with you, Darren, it was hot that day. We were already tired from our trip. And we got about halfway down that path, And I was thinking, this better be worth it, because we were hot and sweaty. Yeah. We were tired, and it was a warm day. It was a very warm day for Germany. Mm-hmm. And then we finally got to that clearing with the lake and the waterfall. Okay, this was worth the trip.
Oversea.
That was great. That was great.
Video I put out yesterday. I'm talking about my 5. Yeah, 5, only 5, because I have many, you know. But I put some pictures in there. Like my wife and I, when we were there, I got tons of other video I haven't even used yet. I'm going to incorporate sometime. But I swam in the Koenigsegg, right? The Kings Lake. I swam. Yeah. It's cold, all right, but it feels good. I can deal with it. I'm from Florida. I'm used to spring water. You know, swimming in the spring water. I love doing that. But I can deal with that. That with the Ipsy too, down in Garmisch. Yeah. But the Oversea is a whole different level. You jump in, it's like jumping in an iceberg. That's. I mean,
you make it sound so appealing.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's literally, I jumped in and I was out so quick before you could say 1 second. I jumped, whoa! But you know, I'm one of those. I keep trying. I kept trying, and I finally got a half a stroke in. I said, I'm gonna at least get a stroke in this lake. I went, oh! I jumped out again. It was bad. It was, you know, you got that waterfall way on the other end of the lake. You know, that's ice. That's melting. You know, like during the summer. And it's freezing there. But you got to. Did you see that path? I know you didn't go to the path, but did you see the path on the right hand side of that lake?
No, we got to the area right by that little.
There's like a little boat
the
house
cabin, the boathouse, whatever. Yeah. We stayed in that area, and then there were people climbing. You know that rock that's about 6 to 10 feet out. There were people climbing out to the rock, and one lady got off the rock after she got her Instagram pictures taken. And I turned to Terry and I said, "Okay, your turn." She didn't want to climb out there.
Well, I got a picture of me on that rock. Wow. I don't want to get on the rock, but the other rock before, where a famous person and his girlfriend at the time, but wife later, took a picture there. You know, that's kind of eerie, but you know, it was right there. But back to Berchtesgaden. You know, I've been to Berchtesgaden many times, and I've been on the hunt trying to find the Berghof. Okay, for years I've been looking at it, and you ask anybody in Berchtesgaden, they'll tell you, I don't know. They don't want to tell you. They do not want to give you directions to Berghof.
Wow.
So for about 3 visits, I came within 100 meters from the entrance to the Berghof, not even knowing it, because you got the hotel up there. There's that hotel where the Germans came in. They took it over and all that stuff. Yep. You know, I've been in that parking lot. It's got to be around here somewhere. And then finally, I said I made the trip. I said I'm not leaving until I find it. And I'm looking at maps, and then I found a write up. And it said, if you're here, go up the path, and then here I am. It was all grown over, but I went through the path. It's the old driveway, and all you see is like the foundation of the house, the front wall, wall, whatever, and a lot of trees growing in between it. And it's a beautiful place, and a lot of history there. Anyways,
yeah. There's a lot of videos with the before and after pictures on video on YouTube. We really like those too. You know, when they take the current picture and they superimpose the old picture over and they match it up.
Yeah.
We're hoping to do something like that in Rothenburg when we're there using this tourism book we have. But of course, the difference is instead of, like you say, looking at stumps and foundations, the same buildings are still there, and they probably look exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, a lot of buildings like that. I'm going to let y'all answer Nick's question first, and I'll answer. I don't know who that. All right, you go first.
Okay, you want us to answer it?
Yes.
Okay, what should
you go first, and I'll answer.
Same favorite German food, the pretzels at Hofbrauhaus.
Oh, I agree.
And of course, the gelato shop just 1 block south of there.
I don't know what gelato shop you're talking about, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Folks just getting in. That's Mark, not Mike.
We were like what do you say, typical Americans, and going with the food that we knew at first. I mean, we went to that one stand that had the sausage. Yeah, that you like. What was that?
Well, that was in Salzburg though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
That's
Anyway,
okay.
so when we were, I know that I go with schnitzel everywhere.
Yeah, we get a lot of schnitzel.
I love schnitzel. The German potato salad at Hofbrau House I thought was good, and
we got some good sausage at the train station the next day.
Yeah, that train station did, and I think I got one kind and he got another.
Yeah,
and then I regretted
mine
the
was
one
better.
I got.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Tell you what, last night you can explain the different sausages. But it was funny. Last night at this restaurant we went to, they had a sausage platter with several different kinds of sausages. But then with my combination plate, they offered a sausage that they didn't offer on the sausage platter, which is weird. But it was Nuremberg sausage. What's
Nuremberg?
It was
smaller. It was thinner. It was about the size of a hot dog, but it was so good.
No, Nuremberg bratwurst.
It wasn't one of those huge, big sausages like you see. It was fairly thin.
It was good. It was
yes, and when you get to Nuremberg, and especially Christmas, they're gonna have them there, of course.
Yeah.
And other stuff, this. Oh man,
are those the kind that come on the little buns with the great big sausage, or am I thinking of something?
You get them all. Like there's one I put in that video yesterday. I was eating a Mutterlohn bratwurst.
Yeah,
and that's things like that. It's like, whoa, man.
Mm-hmm. But I think as American in Germany for the first time, you can't go wrong with sausage. You can't go wrong with schnitzel. You don't have to be too extravagant, but just order and enjoy. Order something you think you're going to enjoy, and you probably will.
Yeah,
absolutely. And my take, I first of all, I totally agree with Mark and Terry because those are great choices. But depends on what part you're flying into and where you're going to be to. Different regions have different menus, different styles of food.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like they were saying, find something you think that you'll like. Also, if you look on German menus, Speisekarte, Speisekarte means menu. Sometimes they have English subtitles underneath the German thing, so it's real easy.
Or they'll offer you an
English menu.
Yeah.
English Speisekarte, bitte? Ja, danke schön.
Nick, I don't know if you saw our video on Hofbrau House we put out last week, but we highlighted the pretzel ladies that come around with baskets of pretzels, and the pretzel was this big. It was bigger than Terry's head. It was huge, and we split one, and it was soft and fresh. And
only like €5 for that big old pretzel. I thought it was a great deal for that.
You can't beat that. Ooh, Leberkuchen. Oh man, I'm with you. Number is the Friday Prey, I think it's called. Oh, Prayfield, yeah. Is it Prayfield? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about, Nancy? I don't have time to look it up right now, but Nuremberg has tons of history. You have the place where they have the Nuremberg trials. I've been there twice, and it's just like it was set up back in the 40s. And here's the interesting thing about it. They still use that courtroom today as a courtroom. The only thing that's changed are the microphones. The chairs are the same. The furniture is exactly the same. And they noted the microphones and the speakers. That's the only difference.
Oh, wow.
And the last time they changed that was in 93. So up to 93, they used the same microphones, same speakers from back then. But there's a little corner in there. They show the old, this is the original one that they used during that time. So it's pretty neat. Dona, yes, right. Dona is so good.
To continue that conversation about food, Darren has been to Texas, and we drove 4.5, 5 hours to San Antonio to get one of the only places in Texas that serves spaghetti ice, and it was good.
You said the word,
and it was good. Would you say it was good spaghetti ice when we went down to San Antonio, Darren?
Spaghetti ice was so good. It was very, very good. It really was.
But it wasn't even close.
Didn't compare.
Yeah,
no, you can't compare it.
No, I was expecting I was expecting it to be similar, and just the flavors and the texture and everything was entirely different.
Totally different.
Even if you've had spaghetti ice in Helen or San Antonio or
wherever,
Minnesota or wherever, you still have to have it over there because it is entirely different.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And
I think the biggest thing was the cream that they used.
Yeah,
that tasted so. That was I think the most delicious part to me.
The cream was great.
That stuck out more than anything was.
See, that goes into the fresh
Yes.
And how many times in our video yesterday did we look at each other and says, this is much better than what we had in France?
Right.
I didn't even realize until I put the video together how many times we directly compared the gelato we had in France to the gelato we had in Germany. And
just one time that we had gelato in Germany. At that point, when we got to that point in our trip, it was better than everything in France.
We could tell that was by far the best gelato we had ever had at that point. Now I will say the stuff we had a couple times in Rome, and it was different but just as enjoyable. The Rome gelato is good too, but compared to the Paris gelato and the American gelato, the German gelato is just completely different.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
I can't remember if I ate it here at our German restaurant over there, but the potato dumplings is another thing that I really, really like.
Yeah.
The what? I'm sorry. Which thing?
The potato dumplings.
The potato dumplings. Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that. I never thought about dipping things in applesauce, and it was like, that makes it so
applesauce.
Applesauce. We go back and forth and argue about that word all the time. The man that did not take German against the person who did. Yes.
Very good, Hon. Very good. Oh, look here, Terry. I have you answer that.
Very little.
Very, very little.
More than me. I will say this. Okay. I'll say this for anybody who's watching that hasn't been to Germany. For whatever reason, since she had known some German, she was studying German. I let her take care of all the kind of the learning the touristy German or for refreshing your tourist German. I studied some Italian, but I really studied French. Out of every place that we went, we went to basically France, German-speaking countries, and there we nice, and Italy.
Does that come and take them? The Texas battle.
Yeah.
Weird artillery. That's artillery.
Weird phenomenon. Even though I had studied French and I know some Italian, Germany was for some reason the easiest country for us to get around just on context. You look at a sign and you may not know the exact word, but through context, it was easier to understand. I don't know if that's a common thing or it was just my weird brain finding the root words and understanding, okay, that's similar to the English word this. I don't know why, but I actually found Germany to be the easiest country just to decipher and get around. It was strange. You say something. What do you think about that? Because you studied some German, so you may not have to do that anymore.
Right. We'll see. Well, I lived there as a kid for 4 years and 2 years when I was in the military myself, but and going back as often as I do, things just come to me. And it's funny when I'm in Germany, and I'm talking it because you're talking to Germans. I want to try to speak the language as much as possible, though I mess up all the time. But I'm trying, but I'm learning as I'm in my mistakes. I'm
sorry to interrupt, but okay. I made the point of making sure that I could speak enough German before I had to ask sprechen Sie English.
Yeah.
I tried my best to speak as much of it as I could with what my knowledge of German was before I asked anybody if they spoke English. So
I didn't try to speak any, but I was pretty successful at reading signs and understanding what they meant. So
right. Yes.
A lot of times learning a new language, the reading part is the easiest thing to do. Yeah. It's easier to read it than it is to actually try to come up with something on the fly to speak. So
and a lot of English words came from the German language.
Yeah. I think English is about 50% German and 50% Romance languages, is of course Spanish.
Exactly. That's
very
good assessment. You got kindergarten. That's not
right. Exactly. It's all about context and taking your best shot at it. So I thought I'd feel
lost.
I thought I would feel more lost in Germany than I really was. And we spent, between that and Frankfurt, between that and Salzburg, and then Hallstatt, and then we spent a night down with Eric near Via. I think I can't remember how it's pronounced. It looks like village, but it's not how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
So we spent several days in German-speaking countries, and it was pretty comfortable for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, each time I go though, speaking of the language, I understand more than I speak. Obviously, like people could talk and it'll just come. There's a difference between being in the country and being here. There's a huge difference. I have people say, well, hey, your Deutsch is good. Of what I know, your Deutsch is good, but that does not mean I'm fluent. But each time I go, I spend a lot of, I learn more and more, and I watch a lot of German videos too. German like YouTubers. Yeah, I watch a lot of German YouTubers, and I learn so much from that. So when I do go back, things click. Things click.
So I'm just saying, if you're good with context, don't let a language barrier keep you from visiting Germany, because not only do most people speak English, you can get around pretty good just by studying the signs.
Right. Exactly. Just looking at it and oh yeah, that's got to mean this.
Yeah.
But sometimes, oh, it's got to mean this. I'm like, oh, it doesn't mean that. So you got to look at both ways here. Yeah, that's gonna be cool for y'all.
Yeah.
I honestly thought I'd be wearing out Google Translate on my phone the whole time we were over there, and I really didn't. Just started up a few times for this and that, maybe looking at a menu here and there, but other than that, we just got along on context.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. You went to Carl's. Oh, look here. You went to Karlsruhe?
Yeah.
Yes, that's where my grandfather. Yes, there is a good university there. There's some other things about the city I would have liked to have more time to look around.
The castle was closed.
Yeah, we wanted to do the castle there and found out that we were there on Monday and it was closed on Monday. So I was really looking forward to being able to go up to the top and then look around, because I'm fascinated by the architecture of the streets there. They all kind of cascade out.
Fan out, yeah.
They fan out is basically like a big fan. I really wanted to get a picture of that or some video of that, but it just wasn't meant to be. So I guess it just means if we're ever in Heidelberg, maybe we have time to stop by again.
Angie, if you haven't seen our Karlsruhe video, I'd be honored if you check it out and see what you think. It's a neat story. It's a personal story about her grandfather. Just to wrap up, give the spoiler away here for people. Her great grandparents sent her grandfather to live in America when he was 18 years old, just turned 18, to get him away from the groups that eventually became the Hitler Youth, and to get him away from that influence. They could tell years before World War II that this was not going to end well for the German youth. And so they sent him to America to live with his sister. And he never returned, never had the opportunity to return, never saw his parents again, never even heard from them again, as far as I know. And that was the ultimate sacrifice parents can make. And his dream was to always go back to Karlsruhe to
see if he could find out what happened to his parents.
Yeah, and he was never able to. So this was kind of our journey to walk in the steps he was never able to take, and we were able to go into the building where he grew up as a child, and we found out through immigration records what building it was, and the courtyard where he must have played when he was a kid. And it was a very emotional, personal journey for Terry especially. And of course he died 11 years before I met Terry, but I heard so much about him, I felt like I knew him already.
There you go. I have a question.
Yes.
When you said the record,
did you type Q?
You didn't type Q.
Oh, I didn't type Q. Q. Capital Q.
We'll allow it.
All right.
Maybe it's one time.
All right. The question. Okay, like you said records. Okay, where did you find those records? How did you find that house?
So my aunt, who my grandfather was my grandmother's second husband. Her first husband died when my dad was 12. So my dad's youngest sister, I was in genealogy for a little while. When I had my son, I kind of handed it over to her, and she took the ball and she went on from there. And she got me into Ancestry.com. And when you get a membership on there, there are so many records and stuff. I was able to find the record of the ship that he came over from Germany from, that he landed at Ellis Island. I could find the address. That's how I found the address of where his parents lived, because on his documentation to get on the ship, it had to list somebody back home, an address or a relative back home. So I guess in case something happened on the journey over, they could contact back. And so that's how I found the address of the house that he grew up in. It was on that form. His father's name was on that form. So Ancestry.com, I know for a while there, it drove him crazy because I was spending a lot of money on it monthly. And he's like, "Are you done yet?" But I was gleaning so much information. And
well, I didn't mind the subscription, but when she would subscribe by monthly, but it had been 6 months since she had done any research, it's like, are we done with this yet?
Yeah, but I told him, I said, at some point I may need to go back on again because my mom's side of the family was from Germany. And my uncle, her brother, is the only remaining one in her family that's left. And I've asked him, "Do you know where your grandpap was from?" And he said, "All I know is Bavaria." So I know that mom's side is completely came over from Germany. And so I'd like to research now and find. Schmidt's the hardest thing to do.
Good luck finding research on somebody's last name is Schmidt.
Like Jones here.
I would be really interested in finding out, where in Germany they were from. I know the Black Forest was mentioned when I was a child, but that's a big area, and who knows, how many villages or whatever are over in there. So I may need to pop back on again for another Germany trip if we're in that area. So
a little hint here. Now, first of all, I did Ancestry, I don't know, probably about 5 years ago. My wife got it for me. I was sort of skeptical, Yeah, what do they know and everything. Well, what I found out was it matched a lot of stuff what I was told all my life. And I remember in 5th grade, I did a family tree. I remember my mom helping me. And, we did all the stuff. And by the way, Mom, if you're still here, I still have that family tree. It's down in my foot locker. But anyways, so I as I did the Ancestry and it matched everything and more. I found out a lot more, like I know my dad's side of the family from England, my mom's side of the family from Irish. The only, German having me is this piece of metal when I broke my leg last year in Germany, that and a lot of bratwurst, spaghetti eyes. But anyways, you find out a lot of stuff. Now, if you go to either contact them online or if you go in person, I think if you go in person, more, go to the city hall, the Rat House.
Yeah.
And they and the reason why I say that, and this was, I took a buddy of mine to Germany, back in 2019. It was 2 friends of mine. We went. It was his first time overseas, and he wanted to go just right over the border in Aarostor, Switzerland, down in Basel and all that stuff. And we spent the night in Basel, but we found the town where his ancestry is from, that he found out through Ancestry and all that stuff. Well, we found the exact same church where his 5th great grandfather, including the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, all the way through, were baptized. Okay. 2 of them were christened, but then it turned into a Reformed Protestant church later on. Martin Luther actually preached at that church too.
Wow!
And when Martin Luther preached, they got rid of all the Catholicism stuff. It became a Protestant church. But anyways, I just for giggles, I said, let's go down to the city hall here and see if we could find out something. So we went there. And we were talking to this lady and everything, and this guy was back there too, and say, hey, there's anything? Can you help us find any records on this guy and everything? He goes, well, we have to really do some research and everything. What's your email address and everything, and we'll get back with you. And we looked at each other like, are we gonna really hear back or something? Well, about 3 months later, they sent my friend an array of emails, all kinds of, and he can't wait to go back and check out.
Wow,
that's incredible.
Information of not only the members that he knew about, which is very few compared to this, but other relatives that came from Wise and Marion and all this stuff, blah, 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 right there in the little town of Aarostor. Aarostor is a beautiful place. It's right over the border, from Germany. But we found, he's like, he called me up and says, Darren, you won't believe this. And he's showing me all the stuff. And so where I'm getting at, go down to the house, send them an email even,
that's one of the things when we were in Karlsruhe that I had thought that I had found a church. I did a search from around the area where he lived to think, okay, I knew they were Lutheran. So I did a search of churches and stuff like that it would have been within a radius where they could have possibly gone to. And I thought I found one that would have had the records that you were talking about. When we walked in, I don't know what we thought. I don't know what it ended up being.
It was just mass confusion because we were in a building that wasn't even a church. We thought we were, and everybody spoke English. In fact, what was funny is the shop owner, this children's clothing store that used to be the apartment complex. She spoke impeccable English. She was amazing. She was so incredibly helpful and nice. But they let us walk around the courtyard, the living area of this apartment complex that the shop was on the ground floor of. And this older man, I say older, he was probably in his late 60s, early 70s. He walked in this door and, obviously could tell we weren't supposed to be there. He wasn't upset about it, but what he asked is why we were there or something like that. Anyway, so we asked if he spoke a little English. He said little.
He ended up speaking more English than
his English was what Germans consider being able to speak a little bit of English and what Americans consider to be able to speak a little bit of German are in totally different scale. So we had a really nice conversation about this man, and we told him about her grandfather. Of course, he was too young to have known him. He may have not been too old to know his parents, depending on how long they lived. But we didn't know how long he lived there. But it was just great having a conversation with just some random citizen.
Yeah. Well, back to the place that I thought I was going to ask about German records and stuff like that, we thought would have been where the church was that they were, but it was something completely different. And I can't even remember exactly what it was, but yeah, we attempted to do that. Not having we spent probably like 5 hours in Karlsruhe that day, and so it wasn't really. I would really have to have a whole lot of stuff just like prepared and ready to go to say, hey, this is what we're looking for to feel comfortable walking into a Rathaus and asking for stuff like that. So yeah,
I'm gonna encourage you to do that because I'm interested too. I'm gonna find out your outcome. I'm gonna see what you find out, and that's really cool. And I'm gonna address this real quick. Hey York, I understand, and from where I'm at, I try to be respectful of all people. I mean, I don't want to be reminded of our past. We got a bad past too. Every country has their bad past.
Yeah.
So I do it out of respect, but I appreciate you saying that because, I feel bad anytime I mention anything about that, but I need to get over that, I guess. But it's a respect thing. But that's why I did that. But I try not in my videos. I try to not mention anything about that. But it like you said, Mark, it is what it is. It happened. So I just got to learn how to go with it. Oh, Andy's saying the same thing. School mixture. Okay. Yeah. That's totally understand things. So that's coming from a respect point of view. Go ahead, Terry.
And to address Angie, I'm glad to hear that about that it's taught in schools, which is the funniest exact opposite thing that's starting to happen in America is they're starting to try to change our history. So you're going to see Americans starting to repeat our history if we're not really careful because they're just tearing a lot of our history now. But I'm glad to hear that about over there in Germany. I know that there's a lot of museums that I would love to see over there.
Yeah.
With the German side of history, what happened, from their point of view. So
it's very interesting. Like when you go into, I don't normally talk about this, but I'm going to right now. When you walk into Dachau, there's a sign there. This is here so the history won't repeat itself. Yeah. Which reminds you of the atrocities of the past and to go for it. And it's like 4 or 5 different languages, including all the folks that were there, different languages, including German, English, and all this stuff. But it's good that they have that because we need to remind us. Leaders today here in America and everywhere in the world need to look back on history and don't repeat it. It's happening. Everything repeat. They need to look at all this stuff and pay attention to it because it's important. It's important. And we don't want any of that stuff to happen. I want everybody spaghetti eyes to just behave themselves, and just be done with it. You know what I mean? So Carmen's Keith. There we go. So absolutely. When you tell us now, I know, but for the folks here, where did you fly from and into Germany when you first got there?
We didn't fly at all. We landed we went from New York to Paris. And then took the train from Paris to Strasbourg, which is, it's almost Germany.
Right? It's not Germany.
It's not Germany. It's German-ish.
Yes, there you go.
It used to be Germany at one point in history. How about that?
Yeah. So it definitely had a German flavor to it. And then from there, we took actually a bus, not a train, to Karlsruhe, and then took the train from Karlsruhe to Stuttgart for a slight layover, and then to Munich, and then again took the train to Salzburg, but we actually are end of November, Thanksgiving weekend, we're flying from DFW, our local airport, straight to Frankfurt.
Yeah.
So, and then out of Frankfurt back here nonstop. So we'll get the experience of flying into Germany here at the end of November.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's a short weekend trip. Just it's funny. We are not until recently not international travelers. So the thought of us flying to Europe for a weekend seems so out of character for us.
Oh yeah.
Well, and you know what about that? Hold on a second. But yeah, Mannheim, go see Dario, Darion, Dario. Yes, Nick, listen to that.
Yeah.
But I'm finding flights out of Fort Myers, direct flights.
Wow.
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, really?
To Munich. Okay. Less than $400.
Oh my goodness.
So they shouldn't have told me that.
No, they definitely
they should have told me that because I could speak in weekend trips.
What airline?
Was it Berliner? I don't
really.
Don't hold me to that. Do not hold me to that. This is how I found it. Eric, traveling Eric B.
Sure.
We're walking through the English Garden and everything, and we were leaving the English Garden, and we're walking towards the city center, and we just started, talking to this German couple there, and it was a couple and their family and stuff like that, and we were talking, and I said something about it. I said hello. He goes hello, and we started talking, and he had a American shirt on, had an American flag on it. So I said, hey, your shirt there. Well, he lives in Munich for 6 months and Fort Myers for 6 months. And we were talking about, I said, well, that's pretty cool. I'd like to do that one day, 6 months in Germany, 6 months in America. That'd be awesome. He goes, yeah. He goes, I go back and forth all the time. I'm out of Fort Myers. He's talking about the flights. I'm like, really? Direct flights? And so I did my own research. I was like, mouth still open. So now, as of late, if you look right now, it's higher than that. What I just said,
yeah.
Everything. But just before, when I was looking at it, I saw it was $406 round trip. But I looked again, it was like $900.
That's almost like us finding the 199 round trip tickets to Hawaii.
Yeah.
We found
the flash sale when we got to Hawaii for $198 each person nonstop from DFW to Honolulu. So we jumped on those right away. Yeah. But we took advantage of some great points to get to Frankfurt. Believe it or not, DFW to Frankfurt on American Airlines was only 45,000 points apiece round trip, and that was amazing. That was that was great. We had the points, so it's like, why not? Let's go to Germany for the weekend.
Exactly. That's awesome. I used of course Delta's right here, Atlanta.
Yeah.
But even before I moved to Georgia, Florida boy living in Georgia, I've always had American Express. And those points, those miles, they add up.
Yeah.
And my last couple of flights were free, because minus the taxes. I had to pay taxes.
Yeah.
$33 in taxes. But you just can't beat deals like that. Get a credit card, with miles. That's a whole nother topic there. But they really, really work. You do find good deals in different places every once in a while. Even now, they're there. You just got to look.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm always looking for a good deal and an excuse to go to Germany.
That's why we have a lot of people that ask us, how is it that you're able to travel so much? It's like,
I get that too.
This guy is very good with deciding which credit card we need to use when, and a lot of the stuff that we do is where we stay is on points. So
yeah, either through introductory offers on credit cards or just through regular spending.
Yeah.
I drive for crazy sometimes because we have one card that gives us 6x points on gas and groceries, another card that might give us 3x points on.
Hey, they add up.
On dining, and we've got like 5 different credit cards, and we just use them for different things. And
So
I'm at the point
that's your pet peeve.
Which one I need to use. So
Oh yes.
Yeah. Now Angie made a comment a couple minutes ago in the comments. I was going to jump forward to that, where she said that Strasbourg used to be German, but it isn't now. It's France. We're aware of that. We're aware it's certainly France, but for France, it has definitely a German flavor to it. Yeah. It's France with a German flavor and a little of that Alsace, cooking He's got the half timber houses and stuff like that. It doesn't feel like France, and it doesn't exactly feel like Germany. It's something really unique and special, and we enjoyed our time there too.
I tell you what, Allison's comment.
Try that out.
German potato salad. I really love that.
She would like it if she could.
Yeah, I would give it a heart if I could there on Allison's comment. But one of the things I also is different is we had sauerkraut on Mark's plate. And he says, "Do you eat sauerkraut?" I said, "Yeah, I eat sauerkraut." And so he gives me a sauerkraut. But growing up, we ate sauerkraut, but it wasn't anything like German. It was uber sour, but I can eat German sauerkraut. I love German sauerkraut. It's got to be the authentic stuff. But there's so many flavors of food that my parents were pulling from their German heritage with American food, if I should say. But yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I find myself, these leftovers that I brought home from last night are like,
yeah, they wouldn't be leftovers. I'm
clinging to them for dear life because they just are so good. They're so good.
Even the pretzel had amazing, probably the best pretzel we've had in the United States was at this restaurant we ate last night.
Yeah.
It was the only thing I'd say would come close to the one we had in Germany because it was uber fresh. You could tell it was so good. And it was basically an appetizer, two pretty good sized pretzels, not, Hofbrauhaus big, but normal pretzel size, 2 of them for $6 for an appetizer in the United States. That's not bad at all. So we each got our own pretzel as an appetizer.
That's right. I'm going to share a pet peeve of mine based on what you said, Terry. When people say, "How do you do that? How do you do that?" This is a pet peeve of mine. Now, when I do my travel, I try to be humble. I'm not saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm doing this stuff."
Yeah.
And when they say, "Oh, jelly, I'm jealous," I hate that. It makes me feel like I'm not trying to showboat, And nothing against anyone saying that. It just makes me feel like, well, I'm not trying to showboat. I'm just going.
One thing, along that same line, one of the reasons we started our channel, other than the fact that you pestered us to do it, was
from the get-go.
Yeah,
was that we are two people that went years and years in our marriage without hardly taking any vacation, anything, and then. In 2015, we went on a cruise, and that kind of sparked our interest in exploring the world more, exploring the country more. And then we took a couple more cruises, and then we decided to get more bold and do other things. And we realized it doesn't have to be expensive. Mm-hmm. Europe is not nearly as expensive as it's made out to be. I belong to these Paris travel tip boards on Facebook, and people talk about, I'm looking for a hotel. My budget is $500 to $600 a night. Like, oh my God.
Wow.
And we're the $100 or €100 night hotel people. We don't like spending a lot of money. So
you don't have to spend all that money to.
A lot of the videos on our channel explore. We've got a video on a budget hotel in Paris. If you're on a budget but you still want to go to Paris, we stayed in one of the Ibis or however you pronounce it. I think it's Ibis. One of the Ibis hotels, way out the 10th arrondissement. On the other sides of the train station, and we didn't try to stay near any landmarks, and we explored the affordable side of Paris and Munich, and even Strasbourg. We stayed we didn't try to stay downtown Salzburg and Strasbourg. So we're going to be coming up with hotel reviews on our channel to help people travel affordably. So if you want to see Europe, but you don't have the $500 to $600 a night budget, it's fine. We got you there. When we went to Hawaii, we ended up spending like $60 or $70 a night for a hotel in Waikiki.
That was a good video too.
Yeah. That was one of our first videos, and really kicked off the channel. And it's still, I think, our second highest viewed video ever. We stayed at basically
something like that.
What's that?
30-something thousand last I looked.
Yes. Well, no, that's our highest rated. It's
highest rated.
17,000 views or something like that.
Cool.
We have one that's like 34 to 35 now, but there was a cruising video. But our second biggest is just about this one hotel that's just a block or two away from Waikiki Beach, and you look at it on Google and you think that is a shack, but it actually ended up being really nice. And we gave a video tour of it to show people, look, if you don't want to stay in one of the high-rise hotels near the beach, there's other options that are, a quarter or less of the cost, probably less, that you feel like you can still have a great vacation. So if somebody comes up to me and says, "Oh, I'm jealous, I could never do this," like if we can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Because we look for the bargains. We go when the prices are low, or we wait for the bargains to come up. And if it's not affordable, we don't do it because we're not rich by any means.
No.
Yeah, and you know, and it makes me, you know, it makes me feel awful actually, you know, because you know they're not mean. People are meaning no harm. I don't think they're meaning no harm saying that.
No,
it's just like I'm just trying to convey that I'm not showboating. I'm just sharing. You know.
And now we have the comeback. It's like, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
if you really want to go, we'll figure out a way to get you there.
Yeah.
We'll help you. We'll help you. Yes.
Yeah.
Help you. That's right. So it's a lot of fun, and a lot of people think. So we're saying that you need thousands of dollars to go. Yeah, if you get one of those tour groups and you're stuck on a bus on their schedule and you're doing everything. Be here at 2:30. The bus is going to leave you. Oh, that's right. No, you know, I like freedom. You know, I like freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Do some research. Research is so easy, especially nowadays. You Google everything. You find anything you know. You know how to get there. What's there?
He's a YouTubeaholic.
I'm a YouTube junkie.
When we're
Me too.
He's on YouTube's researching everything, every possible detail, every angle until he comes up with one that's best for us. So
when we were, of course, we this trip we just took this May, we originally planned for 2020. So from inception to completion, it had been about 3 years when I was researching this trip, and I had Venice down where I could walk Venice on Google Earth with my VR headset. I could walk the streets of Venice and know where I was going to get from the Vaporetto station to our hotel to St. Mark's Square. And when we were actually walking Venice, like, oh yeah, okay, this store you take a left here, and I knew where I was going because I had researched it so much.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, Darren knows all about flying all over Germany with our VR headset, don't you?
This is the way to do it.
Well, the problem with VR, with the only difference is in Germany, for whatever reason, I think it's privacy laws. Germany really doesn't have the street view like they do here in the United States.
Privacy.
So you could fly over Germany using the VR headset, but you can't necessarily walk. You can't necessarily walk the streets as much.
I love that thing. I love that headset. I was like, whoa! I stood right there. That's cool.
Yeah, our VR
headset. I think he showed us everywhere that he's ever been in Germany when he was over here on our VR and how to get there.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I mean, I just looked around and was like, "Wow, let's fly to Garmisch." Oh, there's Garmisch. There's my shop right there.
It is an amazing program. It's an amazing device. So
absolutely. Boy, I'm getting speed up the original shot. Hey, that's cool, Nick. That's cool, Nick. So I'm just shooting through here. So what is your first? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, scroll through some comments. Yeah,
life from Germany is like the Autobahn. That's really interesting to know.
Yeah, that is. And Angie loves Autobahn. She is speed racer. She's the female speed racer in Germany. Boy, she says, "I'm driving." What are you doing? She's hilarious. It's different taste like in Aylesbury, and that's true. Ann was asking that question. Daniel said that the hamburgers are different. Yes, they are different because the meat's different.
We tried that experiment when we were leaving Paris. I think it's Paris.
That's not.
Yeah, we were leaving Paris. No, it's Paris. Okay. When we were getting on the train to go to Karlsruhe, we went ahead and got a McDonald's hamburger in the Paris terminal there. It was the same to us. We couldn't tell the difference. Now maybe they were different in Germany, but in Paris,
you were in Paris.
We thought
I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
And there's only so many times we were going to do the burger experiment while we're in Europe.
We weren't going to be one of those people that always end up at McDonald's or whatever while we're in Europe. We're gonna taste the real European food.
We tried it one time and it was like, okay, this tastes exactly like it was at home.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Try it one time.
On the plane, yeah.
Try it one time.
Okay. We'll do it. We'll do it again on our trip in November. We'll report back to you.
Just for a snack. Just grab a cheeseburger, or a Big Mac. Grab a Big Mac and just eat your Big Mac and then you'll see the difference.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can't wait to hear your reaction there. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, what's your first order of business when you get to Germany? You know what mine is. Everybody here knows.
My first order is to get a SIM card for my phone.
Yeah.
And what service do you have?
We have Verizon.
Okay, so do I. But I the Travel Pass works for me.
Yeah, but the thing is, we got 2 phones, so it's like that's $10 a day for both people. It's gonna be 3 times as much to get Travel Pass on both phones than it is to get one SIM card, a German SIM card that we can use as a hotspot, and we can both split the signal.
Now,
it's going back to the budget thing, how to travel affordably.
Oh yeah.
Sure. We could have, again, it's going back to another video on our channel. We could have used the Verizon travel plan while we were in Europe for 17 days. And we were there about 15 days. 15 days, $10 each per phone. That's $300 for both of us to have internet access on our phones while we were in Europe. But we got a Wi-Fi mobile hotspot for $100 that we both used for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was a third of the cost to get a mobile hotspot than it was for us to use the Verizon travel thing.
Right. Now, question, you said during age 55, 60 plus, are they still requiring English in schools? I was under the impression that they're still teaching it. Or am I reading that wrong? I mean, because, English, even in the colleges, they teach in English. Not all classes, not all courses, but most of them, a lot of them do. Hence, that's why a lot of Americans or other folks from all over the world internationally come and they take the courses there because it's in English. So I'm just curious. Just remind everybody, if you have a question, put a Q in the front so we can see it. I see a question coming up. I'm gonna get to that. But Misha, that is cool.
Misha, it's very cool. I mean, that's the story. I went after we published that. I sent it to my brother and sister who are younger than me and asked, hey, so what do you remember, about Pap? Do you remember any of his stories and stuff like that he told? And my sister, I think was 7 when he died. She's like, every time I smell a cigar, I just remember him. And that was her. So that tells you the difference that. My brother never replied back. I'm not sure if it's just he couldn't think of anything or what, but yeah, it's really interesting to look back and see how did my family get over here, and especially if you can learn the circumstances. Was it my great grandmother that came over from Ireland, they were just really poor and they came over to America to look for a better life, so sometimes those stories are just as interesting as finding out where they're from and what life was like for them back then. So
I love that stuff. And that sparked interest in looking back at stuff like this, like genealogy and stuff like this. And Blaine here, man, I would love to learn more about that too. Martin Luther in Wittenberg. Oh,
I don't have a huge desire to go to Berlin. No offense to anybody, Berlin just doesn't seem to be my jam. But if we ever head into northern Germany,
Wittenberg's
going to be the place that our big go-to. Because we love the history of Martin Luther and stuff like that.
As a matter of fact, my next trip, whatever that could be, I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Wittenberg. I've been to Wittenberg 4 times now, but I'm intentional. There are some Airbnbs within 100 meters of the Castle Church, and tons of that. Plus, if you want to do a quick trip to Berlin, it's a 45-minute train ride. You just pop in and say hi, boom, and
if you were in Wittenberg, then we would probably go up to Berlin just for a day or so. But we've got an anniversary coming up in 3 years.
3 years, right?
3 years, it'll be 30 years.
We have our 2023 trips planned out. We have our 2024 trip planned already. So our 30th anniversary would be 2025. So that would be about the next opportunity we'd have for a big trip. And certainly, like you said, the Munich, the Wittenberg, even Berlin is definitely a possibility for us. We haven't decided that one yet. So
absolutely. Angie's having cracking up here. I am German born in a wrong body. Now, if you don't know her history, she's Filipino born, raised in Australia, met her German husband in college in class, and they've been married over 25 years now, 2 grown kids, and living in Germany. So that's pretty cool. Angie's awesome. I met her now 3 times in person, and it's going to be so cool to see them again. Whenever that will be. So that's a good thing. Leipzig. Oh yeah.
How close is Angie to Frankfurt? Or any other places, or any of the other places we're going to be, in November?
Very close.
Well,
very close. Hour train ride. Yeah. Contact her. I can't speak for her.
Yeah.
Contact them, and they like to eat like I do. So, and if you like to eat, and good time and a fun time, man, they're a great couple.
Well, you don't get to be my size without enjoying to eat. Trust me.
Right. And Angie, she's really, really tall.
Well, see, we got to do it just for the picture because I'm 6'8", so you got to have the picture of the two of us side by side.
I think Angie's 4'8".
Oh my.
4'8", 4'9", something like that.
Oh my.
That might be a little bit tall because she comes up. I mean, way down here, everything. But her personality, she's 100 foot tall. She is full of life, full of fun. Nice. And her husband, he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Well, yes, and I'm like 4 inches taller than that, but that would be an amusing picture. Sometimes you just have to do it for the comedy of it.
Right, absolutely. That's it.
Nice.
Good people though. Nurse probably my family in Germany. That. Oh, there you go. Proper
English.
They get that from the English side.
They get that from England, huh?
From England, yes. Yeah, British English right there. See, just right there. There. Yeah,
very good.
We say, to go. Germans, they say takeaway because English for England, they say, take away. No, it's to go, man.
England is very proper. You're correct.
But what's their word for umbrella? Hey, is it umbrella or bumper shoot?
Oh my goodness.
Angie.
Oh, these two bumper shoot. Hey, I got to do this. Roy, I just put on the shirt. I wasn't picking a shirt today. I just grabbed a shirt out of my closet. Roy and Becky Travels. Roy and I, we did the same job in the Army. We were both field artillery. And so, Roy, this is for you. I didn't even know you were going to be here today. There goes some memories there. So that's good stuff. That met him on YouTube a couple years ago, and I was in the Army. Oh, really? Where? Same place, same time. Q. Here we go. Go for it, Terry.
Okay, no, I know Thomas Reiser asked me this at one point in time, and my grandfather is not full-blooded. I mean, he's full-blooded German, but he is
not blood relation.
Not blood related. He's my step grandfather, so. Dual citizenship is not something that I probably could do at all. Honestly, I don't know that if it would be something I'd look into it anyway. But yeah, I've been asked that question a couple of times. If he was, if he was my father's father, it's a possibility. But he's my father's stepfather, so there's that.
Yep. But it was the only grandfather she ever knew, so the whole step thing never mattered to her growing up.
Both of my natural grandparents died when my parents were very young. So let's see. Terry and Mark noticed the older ones in Germany are more active. So they're 100,000 times more active than us.
Well, I tell you what, as overweight, over 50 Americans, we were exhausted the whole trip just because we're so used to driving everywhere and.
I need to
so much more walking
to go back to Europe for quite some time so I can lose some weight again.
Yeah, I lost about 10 pounds doing 2 weeks in Europe.
That's also a myth.
I still lost 10 pounds.
That's also a myth, Jorg. That's like saying that every German wears lederhosen. Now, Jorg, I know you don't wear lederhosen. You don't wear leather pants like the one in your profile picture. So, so it's not everybody because I know some older folks. They run every day. I know this one guy in our church. He's 80-something, and he runs every single day.
Oh yeah,
now, he's fit as all get out.
Yeah,
and he doesn't look at it. But I know a lot of older folks that they get out, they walk, they do stuff and everything, and we just need, some of us need to do it more.
Well, those of us like you and like us, we live in the South where it's hot all the time.
Yeah.
So we don't ever we love our air conditioning. So
I have the most time to work out and walk during the summer, and that's when I wouldn't possibly want to go outside to do it. Yeah. So unless you have a room you can fill up with exercise equipment in your house, it's really easy to Texas justify staying inside, not doing any of that.
Right.
In Germany, Angie, I would love to hike, but I'm so out of shape, and I have bad knees and ankles and all kinds of stuff from being an athlete when I was younger that, just trying is really hard. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me, but I would love to. There's so much I'd love to hike and see. Yeah.
Now tonight before the Gators come on, I'm going to take a little walk. I like taking a walk around the neighborhood. I don't go far because I got a bad back. I got to be careful and stuff like that. But I try to take little short, sort of like cat walks, like cat nap. Little short walks just to get the blood flowing and all that good stuff. Hey Tammy, how's it going? Question, Terry.
You
already did that one.
Yeah, you already did
that. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Good deal. I saw the cue and I was like, oh, I'm on it. Okay, that's cool. That's cool, Telga.
That's really
good. Yeah,
that's awesome. Howdy, Timmy.
Hello, Lisa.
Completely off topic, Darren. Have you ever heard of a German comedian named Flula?
Not offhand.
Look him up sometime. You'd love him.
Hold on, I'm writing it down.
He's a German comedian. Flula, Flula.
Oh, hang on. F-U.
You would love him.
F-U what?
Flula.
F-L-U.
Flula. Yeah.
L-A-F-L-U. Oh, never mind. F-L-U-L-A. Okay. Yeah. I'll look him up.
You would love his sense of humor. Look up some YouTube videos from him. He's a German comedian that he's absolutely hilarious.
Now see, I'm on German YouTube stuff all the time. I may have seen him and didn't know his name or something, but I was watching one comedian. He was an older guy, and
right. Now this is a young guy. He's been on the Tonight Show. He's been in a couple movies, but he's very funny, and his sense of humor about Germany would crack you up.
Can you play some instruments for us next time?
Sure. Next time we'll play some polka. So play some oompa music. Now I don't know if you saw the our Hofbrauhaus video, but the reason we went to Hofbrauhaus, as touristy as it is, and not the Augustine or any of the other beer houses, was thank you. Was because we were told it was the only place that would have live oompa music on Monday nights.
Yeah, that was the night that we were there.
Monday nights. Yeah, and she has a degree in trumpet performance, and I make a living playing and teaching tuba. So going and seeing an authentic German oompa band was something we just could not resist. So that's why we ended up going to Hofbrauhaus. Yes. So yeah, and that was an experience. Okay, I see a young man in back holding up a Q sign. So yes, Darren, please go ahead.
Now this is totally I did not let you prepare. So if the answer is no, I understand. Don't feel bad if the answer is no.
Okay.
Can you give us a tuba lesson on a German song that you might know right now?
I know some Wagner. Does that count as a German song?
Just a little 10-second blow.
God, my tuba's in the other room. I was sure the valves are working right now.
Okay, well, we'll save it for another time.
Yeah, we'll save it for another time. Yeah.
Okay. It just came to me.
Give us some time to prep and find a good old German polka.
I'm supposed to play a concert next month with my symphony in Wichita Falls Symphony, and we're playing Holst the Planets. You know some classical music. Are you familiar with Holst?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Well, I'm playing the Planets, and the Planets is one of the few pieces that has a euphonium part with the orchestra. So I'm not even playing tuba on that concert. I'm playing euphonium, which is like a smaller tuba, half-size tuba, and it has its own part and its own solos, and it's a very, very hard part. So I've been playing euphonium every day to get myself in shape to play this, smaller mouthpiece. Yeah. I've been practicing every day, and I haven't picked up a tuba in a while, so I don't know what it would sound like if I picked up a tuba right now and tried to play some Wagnerian excerpts.
Oh wow!
Oh my gosh, how many hours long would that flight be?
That would be crazy.
Anchorage.
That would be
like
wow.
17-hour flight.
At least.
Are you going across the date line the other way?
I was about to say, which way are you going?
Oh, look at this! Look at this. It had Ryanair. Ryanair had flights from Frankfurt Hahn. Okay, still that's not bad. Air Berlin.
Wow. Let's scroll through some comments here.
Yeah.
They like Blaine and Misha. They're like, hey, they're ready to go now, and they saw the prices.
Oh wow, we're from the comments when we were talking about credit cards. We're way back.
We're catching up. We were behind.
Okay. Scroll through here.
Yeah.
There you go. So tell us all the while I go through this. Tell us what your itinerary is for your next trip.
Oh, it's not like it's just a long weekend trip. We're gonna fly into Frankfurt on leave here Wednesday night, get to Frankfurt Thursday morning. Get some breakfast with our friends Brian Stein and his family.
No, not Brian Stein.
Brian Smith. Brian Stein's our neighbor across the street. Brian Smith from our Walters World group. They're flying over on the same flight, but they have a different itinerary.
So we get to see Franklin for
we get
many hours.
Yeah, so we're flying over with Franklin.
Yes.
And then we're going to get some breakfast with them first thing in the morning in Frankfurt. And then, like I said, hopefully try to find a SIM card for my phone over there, probably at Vodafone. I've heard that's a good place to go to get SIM cards. And then taking a train to Nuremberg. And depending on what time we get to Nuremberg, we'll either check into the hotel and see the parade grounds and the museum the next morning. Probably that would be a better idea. And that will be Thanksgiving. Of course, they don't have Thanksgiving over in Germany, so it's not like it's a national holiday. And then the Christmas markets will start
Allison, you have it easy, girl, though. $35.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, no, I was thinking it. You said it.
So the Christmas market will start in Nuremberg that night, and we'll probably spend most of the night just exploring the Christmas markets. The next morning, we'll get up and go to Rothenburg, and we'll spend two nights in Rothenburg just doing Christmas market stuff. And then the very last night we're going to spend back at Frankfurt by the airport in the Hyatt place there at the airport. And if we are there in time, we'll probably do some Christmas market or some just general stuff in Frankfurt there, and then fly out the next morning and come back to Dallas. And like I say, for us to take a quick trip to Europe and back again, that almost seems more decadent and frivolous than spending 2 weeks there. It's like, jet off to Europe for the weekend. It's like, wow, is this us? This isn't us.
Darren, can you flip back a couple so I can see Anka's question?
Yeah, I was going to verbalize it. Okay,
yeah.
But you asked, what do you like to do in Germany the most?
Yeah. Gosh, like I said, most of my family history, most of my ancestors are from Germany, and there's so many places in Germany. This past time was our first time to ever step foot in Germany. And so I know that there's so many other things that I'd want to see. I just think it's such a beautiful country. I found it really, really easy to communicate with the people there. And just, I'd like to find the cities and the places that, where my family came from and how they came to America, and see what it is that they loved so much about the country that they lived in. So I really enjoyed the time that we were in Germany. That's why we're going back for the Christmas markets, because that's something else we wanted to do. But there's so much in Germany that we haven't even touched yet. So all these SIM cards.
Interesting. That is interesting. Okay.
I'm gonna take more into that.
I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely, it's free German trains. I know. Yeah, the trains and train stations that got free internet. That's a good thing. But I'm gonna check out that Aldi thing too, Jorg. So appreciate you.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that, Mark?
I had not. And all the websites I've researched on, people talk about Vodafone and places like that, but I've never heard of an Aldi SIM card before.
Right. See, I know it. Travel plans. Okay, Thomas.
Yeah, AT&T has a better travel extension than Verizon does. AT&T, once you reach a certain amount, it gets a lot cheaper per day. With Verizon, it's 10. You could be there for 6 months, and they would still charge you $10 a day every day.
Nick, we didn't have any German food on the train except what we picked up at the train station, so we didn't actually eat any food that was served on the trains during our trip. So
I will answer that because the trains, I've used it many times. The not disco, what do you call it? The restaurant back there in the back. Okay,
dining car.
Yeah, so dining car. There's a German word for. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah,
I'll think of it later probably. But anyways, the food. I've never had a bad food off the train.
Right.
So those are only on ice trains. Okay, you look for the dining car in the back, and I had some good bratwurst on there. I even had. They even offered rouladen, and I tried rouladen on the train. And that rouladen was just as good as you got in the restaurant.
Wow! I love rouladen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's definitely. It's definitely worth it.
Blaine may appreciate this since he's one that likes to go camping, but this is a mug that I bought at the little shop that was where my grandfather lived in Carlsruhe.
Yeah,
it was a children's clothing store, so of course I don't have any young kids or grandkids or anything of that nature. So I felt like I had to do something. I had to purchase something from her since she was so helpful.
So we found a metal mug.
It's a metal mug like you would take on a camping trip. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Little souvenir.
That's fun. That's right.
We didn't buy many souvenirs when we were over there. We got this, and we got some blown glass from Murano, and that's about all we did. We didn't go souvenir crazy, especially because we were doing
souvenirs for a few family members.
Yeah,
and stuff,
carry on. We were doing carry-on luggage for 2 weeks, so we didn't have a lot of room in the bags.
Actually, Angie, they're between the first class and second class cars, right in between. So both first class and second class could get there. And there's not really much difference between first class train service and second, except maybe the amount of people, but the comfort covers is the same. And you may have a couple more USB ports in two, but you have internet all the way through first class and second class, all the way through there. Look great, yeah, that's cool, huh?
I took Latin in high school.
I was gonna say he learned Latin in high school.
Oh wow!
Latin was his foreign language in high school.
I got to take Latin as a foreign language. And I tell you what, that actually helped me. Talk about understanding languages through context. Since everything's based on Latin, learning Latin really does help you in a lot of areas.
Where is Meiningen?
Meiningen.
I don't have my glasses on. Sorry. Yeah. Is that Meiningen? Yeah. Where is that out in Germany?
That's not too far from Wilflicken. It's a big it's a Catholic area there. It's not close, but it's
big city. What big city is it close to that we would know, Darren?
North, south, east, west Germany.
Let's see here. I'm going to put just see.
Maybe Daniel will comment back.
Yeah. We could screenshot.
We do.
Oops, sorry.
We do love,
let's screenshot it.
Martin Luther.
Where's your screenshot? Yeah. Okay. We just screenshotted it. We'll look it up later.
All right. Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah, but as speaking of Martin Luther, when I was stationed in Schweinfurt, Germany, there was this church there, and I didn't know anything about Martin Luther back then when I was stationed there, but of course now. There's a bust of Martin Luther, and the story is same that church in Eredorf. He also at Eredorf, where it changed Protestant. He did the same thing in Schweinfurt, where he preached, and then immediately afterwards they got rid of everything and made it a Protestant church. And I did not know this, and so that's part of the history thing that I'm doing. I love history. Next year I'm taking a group from my church to Germany, and we're the Luther Trail. We're gonna do everything, data worms.
That would be amazing.
All that stuff. So I'm gonna be doing it every year. So I got folks signed up for 2023. That's booked.
It's like your own little Israel tour from church, huh?
Right. Well, 2024 is getting booked. I got 3 couples for 2024 already.
Wow.
if your group has not seen the Ralph Fiennes movie from 2003, Luther, make sure everybody sees the movie before they go.
That was a requirement. That was a requirement before they told me they were going.
I can tell you this: our pastor is a big Martin Luther thing too, and he's watched that. He said that is a pretty close to being a truly authentic movie about his life. So yeah.
If you allow. Completely off topic, but if you like Ralph Fiennes as an actor, he played Luther in that movie. He was in another biblical film called Risen. You ever heard of it?
Yes, I have. I've not seen that yet.
You need to, like today. Yeah. It is fantastic. It completely blew us away. Somebody loaned us the video because she was thinking about showing it.
I did see it.
You did see it. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, it absolutely amazing film. 15 out of 10 stars. It was amazing.
Allison, sorry. Exactly. That's exactly. Pop was, he was the only grandfather that I ever knew. So yeah, I understand that completely. There you go, Angie.
That's right. I like that. I like that. And that's good. That's a good slogan. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Angie's so fun. Gosh, she's so fun. She's a trip, and I'm sure you've seen in my videos her and I cutting up, and her husband and everybody. Man, he's a trip too. With Darren Ludo, I think.
Hey, Darren is not afraid to wear lederhosen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He's happens in mind.
Might be the only person in Munich that does it, but you do it.
Right. A lot of actually, there are places throughout the year in Munich, different places like you go to different where the locals go. You do see locals. Not 80%, you know what I mean? But no, Oktoberfest right now, today is the very beginning of Oktoberfest.
Well, yeah.
Everywhere. So, little quick trip here. When I was there 2 months ago, I wore my lederhosen out. Eric was with me, and he was dying. He was cracking up. And I was having fun. I was having a blast. And people were coming up and taking pictures and stuff like that. And so, I'm like, hey. Well, this one couple I was talking German to, I was pretending I was German. And they were like, oh, he's so cute. I'm like, was nichts verstehen. Was? And da. And they're like, well, thank you for letting me take a picture. Everything. And I'm like, was? Thank you for the picture. And I went, no problem at all. Y'all have a good one. By the way, I have a YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh! I bet Eric was rolling on the floor.
Oh man! Yeah. Between that and something. Yes, we'll leave it at that. But yes, they it was pretty funny. But we anyways, one person now. I wore it again too. I wore it again when I was by myself, and I got they said what's the name of that place? I can't think today. Hofbräu House, right outside the Hofbräu House, right there in Orlando Strasse. Okay, that's where it was just funny. You had to see it. You had to see it. Trying to get food. Trying to get Blaine.
Yay, Blaine. That's what I say.
Runs to the kitchen and get food. Same food in the year. We have lots of preservatives. Everything. Yes. And that is very true.
Yeah.
That's why the difference between the ice cream and the cream itself, because it's authentic stuff. It's no additives, no nothing.
Then good. We both had 2 ice creams in Munich, so I guess we were safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all had me on that video. Yeah, we told about this. I'm like, that's not spaghetti ice. And here it is. He pulls it up, and
I'm guilty. I said we had to do that.
Yeah, that was great. That was I love that.
I'm so guilty of that. I said I kept trying. I don't think I would shut up about that, did I? Until he finally just did it. So,
Darren, have you made your reservation for Helen next month yet?
Next month?
Yeah. Remember, we're meeting you in Helen.
Meeting you in Helen.
Oh yes, next month. No, not yet, but it's coming. But we'll be there.
When we booked hotels like a month ago, it was actually kind of hard to find a room because it's like leaf peeping season in Helen at the end of October, right? And so things fill up pretty fast. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Okay. Helen, Yeah, I got it covered. But I already got the dates already in there, but no place yet. I've been.
I'm going to send a message to Colleen and tell her to remind you.
Remind you to make that reservation.
No, I got it. It's on my list. It's on my list. Okay. I got so many plans going on right now with, anyways, I got a lot of stuff.
Well, I hope you can find a place that's not $500 a night. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But thanks for throwing that in there. But it is in the horizon.
He's living in the United States now.
Interesting. Well, he's an actor now. Remember, he was in Suicide. He was in Suicide Squad.
You're right.
Yeah.
So Andres is pretty tall, huh, Angie? I have no problem. There you go.
Angie, if I put you on my shoulders, you can be as tall as Mark.
Yeah.
I'm 5'10". No, I'm 5'8".
Yeah. Polka's different. Polka's different than oompa music. It's like two different kinds of music. Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh,
Blaine's here still.
Blaine, I think everybody does that after Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well, I get paid to play tuba, so there.
Some people play drums. I'm going to keep going. Angie's laughing. A lot of people laughing. Stirred up strange dialect. Oh yeah.
Schlager music.
Schlager music. I know an instrument manufacturer named Schlager. They make amazing trumpets and trombones, but I'm not familiar with Schlager music is.
10 according to Google. There we go.
10 hours? Thomas?
It's 10 hours from DFW.
From Anchorage to Frankfurt.
It takes us 10 hours to get to.
Maybe that's crossing all the time zones. Think about all
the
time zones you cross between Anchorage and Frankfurt.
From your house to Dallas took 10 hours. Seemed like during that ice storm.
Oh God. Yeah.
Guten Morgen, Monster. Carmen.
I should say Guten Abend, Carmen.
Yeah. Well, she's West Coast, so
she's West Coast still.
So still AM there. So
right.
9 more minutes. So it'll be afternoon.
Guten Tag.
So good. Speaking of Carmen, Carmen and several other folks expressed interest in coming to the meetup in Germany next year. As a matter of fact, it's going to be July 1st of next year. The date set. My co-hosts are as follows. Angie, of course, she lives there. Not sure if Angie's going to be there during that time, but we'll have to figure that out. But we also have Eric. Eric's also a co-host, and Thomas. So Thomas Reisner, he's part of that too. So we're folks out there are like, what are you talking about, Darren? Well, I got it's YouTube meetup in Germany.
Nice.
It's one day event. We're going to make it a nooner time. Everybody's on their own. We meet at one place. We're going to eat and just have a good time, however long. And everybody goes their separate ways. And no set time has been or set place has been the time set, but no place has been set yet. Angie's helping us with that. So her and her husband's looking for a place for several people because I got a lot of interest in it. So if y'all want to go to the meetup in Helen, which would be July 1st, look at my Facebook group page, same name as my channel, and look in the event tab. With that being said, I have a meetup in Helen, Georgia. Okay, that's the second week in March. Now that's a couple day events there. We got Friday, we're meeting for spaghetti eyes. Saturday, everybody's they're on their own, but we're meeting at 6:00 for the dinner. I have reservations made. Last year I had 50 something people come to the dinner, but we had this big room. Everybody got up, told about their channels, what their channels are about, what their future plans are channels, and just introduced themselves. Everybody stood up and said something, even if they didn't have a channel. So that was really cool. So
watch it if you don't have a channel. Darren will talk you into one.
Yeah,
that's right. There you go. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with it. But if you want any more information, contact me or just look in the Facebook group page. That same name as the title of my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see everything. Oh, what's this here? Ramstein. Oh, yes, I saw the Scorpions with Ramstein video just the other day. They were hanging out together. So Mickey, I met Mickey. I met Mickey, the drummer of Scorpions, which used to be the drummer of Motorhead way back then. But anyways, yeah. Awesome. Techno. No, well, I went techno. No, I went techno. And I still went that quick. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
I'm getting there, guys.
Yep.
What is it? 24 hours.
Oh, well, that includes the layover. Yeah.
Speaking of Singapore, okay, Singapore Airlines offers great deals every once in a while, but not all the time. You got to catch it just right. I caught a flight to Germany.
Angie.
Bye, Angie.
Oh, yeah, there, Angie. Bye, Angie. Have a good one. Guten Nacht.
That was probably 20 minutes ago when she said that.
Oh, does he? Okay. But Singapore Airlines, they offer good deals sometimes, but not all the time. I got a deal for $580 round trip. So Singapore Airlines flying out of Orlando, and it was straight to Frankfurt. So so if anyone out there looking for flights, don't miss Singapore Airlines when you're in your search, because you'll be surprised sometimes. You would be surprised. Okay, there's two rest or German SIM card without German. Okay, here, see what An said here.
Yeah, I've heard that before, but I've also said that you can use the name of you can use the address of a hotel or even the airport for tourists. So
that's right, the board restaurant. There we go. Oh, Angie, there we go. 1-1 Carmen. We're getting there, guys. My goal is not to ever skip a line. My goal is to get each one close to Stuttgart. Okay, HP. Okay. Okay, Darren. Hey, Misha, if you're probably gone already, have a great day. Actually, we're getting pretty close. Y'all know Misha? Have you been to Misha's channel?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
Check her out. It's Misha Lee. She does a wonderful job.
What is that the name of her channel?
Yes, and that's her name too.
Okay.
She plays on Sundays a hymn on a piano, and also she has a cooking throughout the week, different cooking stuff. And on Thursday, she shares a devotion on Thursdays.
Well, somebody will drop that link. I'll open it up on our computer over here while we're sitting here.
Yeah, cool. Blaine, if you're still there, would you mind dropping Misha's link? Misha's probably gone already, but that would be awesome. And awesome. And guys, you got to check out my friends too. Blaine, right there, and Ford Man, all these guys. Any folks you see in here, check them out, okay? And if anybody could drop those links, all of them, that would be awesome. You know who you are. You dog, have a good night. There we go. We're getting close. Okay, meet up in Hamburg. Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Hamburg too. I have not been to Hamburg yet, but I want to. They're wearing Luno's gun, but more modern, and that's really super good. Looks with t-shirts.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. You go to Garmisch, my favorite taxi driver. He passed away. I found out my last trip. He COVID got him. He was 89 years old. Wow. And funny thing about him, Herman is his nama. All right, he's retired from Siemens. Okay, no joke. He retired when he was in his 60s. And he was home for 1 week, and he couldn't take it no more. He goes, my wife drove me crazy, and became a cab driver.
Oh my goodness.
And he goes, I love my wife, but I go to work and I come home. She drives me crazy. I love her though, but she drives me crazy. But he was still driving, but he would wear lederhosen in the taxi, and he's from Garmisch and all that stuff too. So.
All right, I just clicked on Misha's channel. The link was dropped, so I've got it opened up. I can watch it later. Yep.
Yeah, I just couldn't get out. I had something else in my mind, and I was just trying to think. Oh my goodness, whatever. Hopros, man, I'll never forget the first time. I remember my first time of everything, just about. But speaking of Germany, when I went to Munich for the first time, I went to Hofbräu House, and walking in I was 19, ripe age of 19 years old when I walked in there for the first time, and I was like, "Where am I? What kind of what is this? I love this. This is fun." And I remember standing there. I kid you not, Mark and Terry, probably an hour, maybe 2 hours, right in front of the band.
Oh,
enjoying the music. I'm fresh from the States a couple months. Now I lived there as a kid, but my first time, I'm just staring at the band, just looking at all the people and all this stuff. And it was during Oktoberfest too.
Oh my goodness!
So I didn't even know what Oktoberfest was, and that's another story.
Stumbled into it, yeah.
It's fun when you stumble into things, like when we stumbled into the Taste of Chicago.
We went to Chicago for a honeymoon. We didn't know the big Taste of Chicago was going on, and we just
what is
walked
that?
up. The Taste of it's like this huge festival kind of thing in the Grant Park there by the lake, and it's thousands of vendors, restaurants, all offering like samples of what they cook. It's this huge big event. They started in Chicago and it's spread all over. They have a Taste of Dallas, Taste of Atlanta, whatever. And so we walk up to this thing with like tens of thousands of people there, and maybe 100,000. And we just walked up to a cop and said, what is this? And he said, it's the Taste. What's the Taste? He had to explain it to us. Of course, this was shit how old we were. This was 1995. There was no internet back then to research what was happening in Chicago when you were there. So we just walked in blind on our honeymoon and found this big festival going on. kind of like you and Oktoberfest.
Right. So where in the world am I?
What is this?
I mean, it's to this day, Germany is like a fairy tale land. It's a land of fairy tales. That's where it came from.
I hope it wasn't 100 degrees in Hofbrauhaus while you were there.
Yeah. No, it does get hot there. When I was there 2 months ago, it was hot inside, but we ate outside.
Yeah.
Me and Sarah and your husband. Did you see that video with Sarah in it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And her husband, Andres. He didn't want to be on video. He goes, I'll film you two, but I don't want to be in the video. I said, no, that's cool. Yeah. So he was right there with us, but he's filming us.
One thing we didn't do when we were there was explore like upstairs, the other rooms, the other areas.
A lot of fun up there.
Is it any cooler or less crowded when you go to different areas?
Depends on what's going on. That upper level, there's a restaurant up there on the second level and everything. And I've seen it packed. I've seen it not so packed. But depends on like right now it's going to be packed. Oktoberfest is packed.
Oh yeah.
Weekends is packed. During the weekend, during the weekdays, you'll see it'll be somewhat packed. There's always people there, but there's also a big fest hall on the other side up above. That's they rent them out to like special occasions and whatnot. But when they don't have a special occasion, they'll open it up for like when they have a big band concert up there. That all kinds of stuff. I've seen many bands like Oompa bands and stuff like that played from that place and packed out. You can't even move.
Oh yeah,
tables everywhere, food everywhere.
The band we saw was amazing, first class. I mean, I'm a tuba teacher. I know good playing when I hear it, and that tuba player was first class.
That's good.
He just had, really good.
He just had complete control over his instrument. It was not amateur by any means. And like our only regret sitting outside. Yes, we avoided the hot temperatures of inside, but we didn't get to hear as much of the band as we really wanted to. But we heard enough that we could say, yeah, we heard it.
Right, exactly. Folks, make sure you check out Mark and Terry. The links are in the chat here. Make sure you check them out and make sure you hit that little S button, okay? Because I know you're gonna like it. I don't even know you, but I know you're gonna like it.
I looked a little bit ago, and we do have a couple new subscribers. We're marching toward 1,000.
Keep them coming, guys.
We're making steady progress for 1,000.
Slowly but surely, always wins the race.
Yeah,
isn't that the same?
Exactly. So
slow and steady.
Every little bit helps. We've got 3 more today. So
awesome.
Every little bit helps. We're hoping to be there by our trip at Thanksgiving, but if not, hopefully by Christmas. We're doing our Helen and Smoky Mountain trip coming up the end of this month, and then
next month.
Right? Next month, and then we're doing the German Christmas market trip, and then we have a cruise on New Year's Eve on the Carnival Vista, and then we have another cruise. We're going to Alaska on Royal Caribbean and spending some time in Seattle in May. And then in July, we're planning a trip where we fly into Detroit. I know people say Detroit. I'm a huge Motown fan, and I've always wanted to see what's called the Snake Pit, where the Motown musicians played. So we're going to visit the Snake Pit, the Motown Museum there, go to the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit, travel to North Michigan to Mackinac Island, then back through then back to Niagara Falls, and then spend a couple days in Pittsburgh to visit her family, and where we're going to see the Roberto Clemente Museum and visit and catch up with our friend Tom Shaner, and probably go to a baseball game, a Pittsburgh Pirates game there at PNC Park. They were going to close it out by going to Canton to see the National Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's all of our trips between now and July.
That's great. That's awesome. I can't wait to see all those videos too.
Yeah. First, we have to finish our Europe trip from this year. We're not even halfway through our Europe
footage.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We still have to finish Germany, do Salzburg and Hallstatt, and then Venice, Naples, Rome, and New York to finish this current series.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Carmen, you will be pleasantly surprised. That's for sure. Hey, Mark and Terry, excuse me a second. Keep on talking. I take care of something.
Okay. All right. Well, here we are. We're on. So if anybody wants to pop any questions about our trip or future planning, like I said, we really wish we could have spent more time in Germany, but we really want to go back. The Wittenberg trip is high on our trip. When we first got married, she grew up Catholic and I grew up Baptist, so we kind of met in the middle and became Lutherans and got a huge appreciation for the Lutheran Church. But eventually we migrated back to the Bible church style and the Baptist church style of worship. She actually works for a Baptist church now, but that of course didn't slow down our love and appreciation for Martin Luther. And like we said earlier, if anybody has not seen the 2003 video about Martin Luther and German history, it's world history, really. That 2003 movie with Ralph Fiennes is just phenomenal. Yeah. Wow. Totally changed our perception of history. And it actually is pretty historical accurate. They took a couple liberties here and there, but it's a fantastic video. What do you want to say?
I don't know. You said, does anybody else have what are we not caught up with in the chat?
Well, the people are talking about the SIM cards, and I'm going to do a little bit more research on what exactly it takes to get a German SIM card. I've heard tourists can do it, but I'm going to double check. If nothing else, I'll order a French card, an orange card, orange, how you pronounce it, and a tourist card that we can get from Amazon and put it on our phone when we get there. I see Verizon's prices for their daily phone usage, and I just won't. And especially, it's not just $10 a day. It's $10 a day for half a gigabyte. And after that, speeds are throttled so much, so you might as well not even have internet access. So it's definitely not worth it. Spend $10 a day per phone for so little data. 20 years ago, half a gigabyte was fine. I can go through half a gigabyte in a couple hours today. And to have that per day, especially if we're thinking about splitting it using a hotspot, that's just not going to cut it. So we have a video about the Wi-Fi portable hotspots, and it worked okay for us on a trip. It worked fine in France. It worked fine in Germany. It worked great in Austria. Almost as soon as we got into Italy, we stopped getting a signal on it, especially if we were inside. So I give it a mixed grade. Depends where you are. Some countries have the Wi-Fi towers, the internet towers, that work well with the Wi-Fi hotspot we had. Some don't. I would recommend it in Germany, although not for a 5-day trip. Not worth it for that. But if you're traveling all around, it's definitely something worth thinking about. And I have a full video about the Wi-Fi hotspots on our channel if you want to check it out. Let's see. Catch up with some questions here. I see Darren's back.
Yes. I was listening, but I had to step away.
Yes. Yeah. Blaine said something about the Roberto Clemente Day. Oh, yeah, we'd love to be on the Roberto Clemente Day. I don't know what day that is, but I grew up a huge baseball fan. I worked for the Texas Rangers for a while in their front office. Of course, she grew up in Pittsburgh, where Roberto Clemente is practically an icon. He is an icon. So we were disappointed our last trip to Pittsburgh, which was 2020, which was in 2020. The museum was closed and we didn't get to see it. But, obviously we knew we'd be going back. Pittsburgh's on our list of one of the most underrated cities in the entire country. It's a really cool city to see and visit, at least for a couple, 2 or 3 days. It's probably the prettiest city to watch. If you get up on top of Mount Washington, one of the funiculars, and you see the outline of the city at the point where the rivers meet. It's one of the most photogenic cities in the entire country. It's just amazing. Anybody who thinks Pittsburgh is still the smog and soot coal town that it was in the 1950s, that's just not the case anymore. Yeah. It's a really cool tourist attraction now.
Yeah, my first Pittsburgh Pirate jersey was a Roberto Clemente jersey. So
yeah,
there you go. And look here, here's some info here on the SIM card. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I've heard about tourists getting cards at Vodafone and other places.
Vodafone, yeah.
But then I hear stories like this where it says you can they don't want to give you one unless you have a German address. So I'm not sure who to believe, which makes me think maybe we should just order a all Europe card, a card that's supposed to work anywhere, that's registered, that comes from a company like Orange that's based in France that you can use in Germany, instead of worrying about getting one when while we're in Germany, which would be cheaper, obviously. But if they're going to give us that big a headache because we don't have a German address, it might not be worth it.
Thanks for that information on.
Yeah,
absolutely. Good question. Oh, this is for me. Oh, were you a big? Oh, you know what? I tried it. I was young, but I was in spaghetti ice. When I first went to a place, seriously, I asked for spaghetti ice. I got laughed out of there because I walked into a bar asking for spaghetti ice. I'm like, can I have some spaghetti ice? I just want some spaghetti ice, please. Because, see, I lived in Germany as a kid. So, and I hadn't been in Germany in 9 years at that point and everything. So on my mind, 9 years later, if fresh adult, of age 19, all I was thinking about was spaghetti ice. And then it took me 19 years to get back, and that was on my mind. And now, even all these years, now I'm 22 years old. It's still on my mind. Oh, there you go. Ein Mass.
Yeah. That is me at Hofbrauhaus. This is the one in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And that's Terry at Hofbrauhaus. Funny story about those pictures. We called you or wrote you right before we went to Hofbrauhaus to see what kind of beer we should get, because we are not beer drinkers at all. So, but we knew we were going to Hofbrauhaus. We had to get a Moss. We had to get one of those. And so you told us, a name of a beer, and we got it. I think each of us took a couple sips from that Moss and didn't drink anymore. If you're not a beer drinker, you just can't force yourself to do it.
That's sort of like Met. Have you ever had raw pork?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Would you try it?
Probably not. I'm not that adventurous.
Well, the only reason why I did it, because I promised Yori that next time I'm here with him, I would do it. And when I first took I took that first bite. I know y'all know, but I took that first bite and everything, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. In fact, it was actually quite tasty.
Right.
But the more I bit into it, and the more and my other friend said, "You're eating raw pork." Oh, grief! I just couldn't do it no more. I just could not do it.
Well, the funny thing is, from those pictures, I remember your reaction to seeing the picture of me with that Moss. Says, "You're holding it wrong. You have to put your hand all the way through the handle."
Right.
I said, "Darren, these hands are monstrous. They won't fit through the handle."
You tried.
Yeah, I tried. It's like you got about that far. I went, I literally, my hands are huge because I cannot put my hand all the way through the. So I can't put my hand. I can't put my hand through the handle like you're supposed to. So I literally had to hold it by the handle.
Thanks, Blaine. Thanks, putting the link up there.
Thanks again, Blaine.
Yeah, cool deal. You took the words out of my mouth. Elton Denkfest.
So do they celebrate Thanksgiving in Germany of any sort?
Is that what that was?
Is there anything similar to what we do?
It would surprise me
if there was, but I'm just curious.
Let me tell you something. Germans, I'm sure, I'm not telling you anything. Germans, they celebrate everything. They walk outside, the sky is blue. They'll celebrate it. They'll have a big fest. They'll have food, beer tents, and all kinds of stuff. and they will celebrate it until the cows come home. And even when the cows are home, they're going to say, "Oh, the cows are home. Let's have another fest."
Let's celebrate the cows.
They're festival people. What can you say?
Hold on a second. I got to take a call. Talk to Terry for a second.
Sure.
Oh my goodness.
Summertime day. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on a cruise Alaska. But yeah, that'd be cool. Amy,
we need to come with us, Blaine, in May.
is that where you're gonna be in? Is May when you're taking that cruise?
Yeah. We're gonna be taking that in May. I don't have my phone here to give you the dates, but we just happened on a really, really good rate. We're not normally Royal Caribbean. I mean, nothing against it, but it's just usually more expensive, and we usually just do Carnival. But just happened upon a really, really, really good deal, and it wasn't cheaper to go to Alaska at that time from Carnival, so we booked Royal Caribbean for that one.
Yeah, it was actually $900 cheaper to book Royal Caribbean than Carnival at that particular time.
Wow.
So it's like, okay, we'll try Royal Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been on both Carnival and Royal. Yeah, I like them both. But Carnival would get the good deals. We got Mark.
I consider Verizon oldie and moldy. I'll tell you what, when we went to Carnival was when we went Verizon. When we moved to this house, we couldn't get an AT&T signal inside this house, so we knew we had to change. And since I'm a self-employed teacher, like a private contractor, Verizon offered us a really good deal on unlimited plan, business account. And we're real happy with their reception, but we're not very happy with their international plan. Of course, this was 2017 when we did this, and international travel was not on our radar at all at that point, so we didn't care. But looking back on it, T-Mobile and other companies have far better international plans.
Look at Blaine. He's just going to town.
Oh,
he's
thanks,
on
Blaine.
it. He's on it.
Yeah, wow.
I appreciate that, Blaine. That's awesome. Possum.
Blaine, we're going to double your pay for that, okay?
Yeah, you get a raise, man.
There you go. Yeah. Last time somebody told me that, they gave me a ladder. Here's a raise. You made a summer run. There you go. On 15.
Oh,
okay.
We're not going to be there then.
Blaine
looked that up too.
Just recently.
See, we need to triple his pay now.
Guess what my mom got me for my birthday? Can I share?
What?
Of course.
Where'd you get it?
A Delta gift card.
Oh, man.
Way to go, Mom.
What in the world? Man, I love that. She sent me a card, okay, and with a little gift in there too, and she goes, "Well, be looking for an email on Saturday." I'm like, "An email? It's not my birthday on Saturday. My birthday's not till Monday." And then she goes, "Well, just check your email early Monday morning or early Saturday morning." It's okay. Well, look, I didn't see anything early, and then it popped up, and it came from Amazon. I'm on Amazon, and it's a Delta gift card. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna
the best.
I'll tell you what. The other day we talked about Blaine because of the Helen trip. We're going to meet you in Helen the end of next month. I thought, well, Blaine lives in South Carolina. That's not far away from Helen. But I fell into the same mistake people fall into when talking about Texas. Yeah, I had a person yesterday saying, there's a tuba case down in Brownsville or something. You wonder if you could pick it up for me. And it's like, Brownsville is a 16-hour round trip for me. Thank you very much. So it's 16-hour round trip. It's practically in Mexico and Mexico border. And after I looked up to see where Blaine lives, it's like, oh, that's a long way from Helen. So he probably wouldn't. Of course, you're invited, Blaine, if you're willing to come. But that's a heck of a trip from his side of South Carolina to get all the way to Helen, Georgia. That's very long.
Okay, all cruise news are for Europe. Yep. Yeah, thanks, Helga.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody's got to.
Yeah, appreciate that. I'm eating raw pork. That's just hogwash right there. That's a good one. That's good. That's good. Yeah, he did peer pressure. Yeah, oh yeah. Pork fest, beer fest, vine fest, shooting fest.
How many
cows come home fest.
Yeah. How many of those can we celebrate in November?
No, yeah, over the.
Let's talk about anything.
Yeah. No, Blaine.
Yes, Blaine.
We actually used American Airline points, and it was like 23,000 points each for the round trip to Seattle, which is nothing. So we'd rather fly Delta, but unless somebody flies from Delta, doesn't go that many places from DFW nonstop, and their connecting flights are very expensive and time consuming.
Yep.
So we decided to use some American airline points, and we booked American to Seattle and back.
And those points add up quick.
Yeah, the huge. I've heard about that. I'm a moderator on one of the largest Carnival cruise groups on Facebook. What's that?
What happened?
People just getting in fights over this and that. You know,
unfortunately,
Walmart can at times, because certain cruises are very cheap and they run promotions, and you can get people on there that just don't know how to behave in public.
You realize you just called Carnival Walmart.
Well, I know. That's okay. That's Carnival's nickname.
That's a very good.
Walmart is the. Some people like Walmart, but Carnival's the Walmart of cruise lines, and Royal Caribbean is a little bit more like Target, but it's more expensive, so you get what you pay for. So.
Yeah, they're probably fighting over the fact that Carnival cut them off at their drink limit or something. Who knows? You know,
actually, I think it had something to do. Anyway,
I've been on a lot of cruises.
I know what the fight was about, but I'm not going to say because this is a family channel.
Gotcha. I've been on a lot of cruises and a lot of Carnival cruises too, and I've never seen a fight on a cruise.
Yeah, they're rare. They're rare, but when they happen, they get a lot of press.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, I did know that at T-Mobile.
I did none.
That's why they have such good European deals for Americas.
Ritterfest, Oktoberfest, Foosball Fest.
Foosball Fest.
Foosball.
Yeah. Football. Your calls American football, American rugby. That's what he calls. He says American rugby.
Yeah. It's a better name than football, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I was the only one at Verizon Tower. Only T-Mobile got a foothold. I switched back to T-Mobile. Well, did you really, Carmen? Oh. Every time anything zero. All right, Blaine. Schnitzelfest.
Sign me up.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's right.
He needs to come to Texas, so we can give him some chicken fried steak.
Oh yes, you got that right.
Texas schnitzel.
Texas schnitzel.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was amazed, Carmen. Yeah, that was pretty neat. A Delta gift card. Wow.
Yeah, I know at our local grocery stores you can get airline gift cards there, like the physical cards, not necessarily like where you have to order.
I saw them before, but it's been years since I've seen that.
Well, I can go to our Kroger down the street and get you one right today. So yeah.
Well, let me give my address.
He's not going to turn that down.
Yeah.
Let me give my address here. My address is no, we got a Kroger, and you know what? I'm going to be intentional about it. I'm going to go and look.
Yeah, they've got a wall of gift cards. Mm-hmm. And if you play your numbers right, you can get the gift card and then get 4x fuel points on the gift card, and then fill up your tank for $1 off per gallon.
Yep.
4.5 hours. Well, Blaine, if you want to come join us, we're going to meet Darren and Helen on October 30th, daytime October 30th, and stay until the morning of the 31st. Just a one-night stay. Come
on down, Blaine. We'll split a room.
There you go. Save you both some money.
Yeah, but doesn't Blaine have a travel trailer? That would be even cheaper than.
Well, he's got to wrap it up because he lives in it full time. So I
got you.
Now it's also.
You know what I might do? Speaking of camping,
what's that?
I might just tent camp. No. I might just do that just for the heck of it.
If you're comfortable doing that with your back.
I love tent camping.
There you go. Find a campground. Yeah, I'm not able to do that. I'm too light a sleeper to sleep in anything that isn't soundproofed. So because I wake up if a cricket chirps outside, I wake up. So
something to think about. That'd be cool because you got I know 2 campgrounds right there in that area. But I'm not sure if they have tent camping though. Yeah. I don't know. I have to see. I love tent camping. Oh, there you go, Blaine. Also, cruiser. Fights on cruiser. You have to do that.
Yeah. Okay, Blaine.
Oh. Yep.
Blaine knows the story.
Yep.
And Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yes. There's crazy people out there, folks. There's
And
crazy people in this world.
you can Google it and
don't Google it. Do not Google that word.
And then delete your search history.
Delete your search history, yes, please.
I'm sitting here on a live stream and I Googled it.
No, you did not just Google that, did you?
No, not just now. No.
Okay.
I Googled something, and next thing I know, all kinds of stuff popped up on there.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Yeah. I'm on a live stream. I'm like trying to click it off.
You gotta be very careful.
Come on, why just walk in here?
But Blaine is right. That's what that big fight was about. So.
No, Carmen. They didn't change anything around. Now, if you look, specifically on the page, Magnificent Germany with Darren on the group itself.
Darren, make sure you've got a page and a group. Yeah. There's a difference. I think people are confused.
Yeah.
Make sure, Carmen, you're looking at his page.
No,
group.
Oh, sorry, his group.
See,
look right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find events in the group, not
the page, because you're a member of both there. Yeah, so that does get confusing for folks. It gets confusing for me. But if you look under the group itself, the one where I'm standing and involved, that's the one where you'll see that. But I'm working on propagating things over to the page. There's a way you can propagate things over by press of a button. So I'm gonna figure out how to do that and get everything on that page too, to prevent this from happening. So seriously. Oh, look here, Anka. Next Thursday, 7 time, I'll be happy. So, yeah, okay.
Events, but it's not like it's a tab.
Are you saying Thursday, Anka?
It disappeared.
Thursday. This coming. Are you saying Thursday or Tuesday? Yeah.
Both. It's on both.
Hey, Anka.
Show it both times, Darren.
Make a thumbnail and put it on the board so everybody knows. Yeah, that'd be great. You're right, Carmen. Yep. Okay. Awesome. Blue Then I want to mill the good. Yeah. Well, thanks, Mom. I appreciate that. I just had to say that because that meant so much to me, Mom. I love you.
There you go, Mom.
That's right. Yeah. Everyone wishes Darren has got to read it. Yeah. We'll find a place. I ain't worried. I ain't worried. Yes, I said ain't. Ain't's not a word. Well, I say it is.
Neither is y'all, but that doesn't stop us.
Nope.
Right. But Blaine said with the last guy we had Charles' head wears out. Huh.
It's getting tired.
Here we go. All right, we're gonna be closing up here soon. We're really close. That's what I said. That would be in a boat. Gotcha. This is the last comment. Yes, and when you do live, make sure you know it's the group page. Yes, there we go. That's right.
Yeah,
we learned that last week.
Otherwise, Darren will keep us up all night.
Yeah,
boy, that was a learning experience because I don't know why I did that.
I tried texting you that about 15 times, telling you that.
Yeah, I don't think you understood.
You finally caught what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Right. It hit me. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Because you're trying to figure out everything.
When you start a live stream as your page and your group, it gets very confusing.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I would do it that way. We figured it out here too. Alchemy means Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday at 7:00. Okay, so 7:00 German time.
Yeah,
German time, right?
That's why she said 1900.
Yes, I'm just saying German time. German time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out here. I appreciate you being my fabulous with a capital.
In Germany, it's in Munich. We went to Munich, but you can find it at several places in the United States too.
Well, Chicago, Pittsburgh, somewhere else. Yeah, there's a few in the United States, but the big one's in Munich.
The main one, the big one is in Munich.
The
original, but there are Hofbrauhaus, and number one, there's one in Helen. Well,
the one in Helen's called Hofbrauhaus, but it's not affiliated with the real Hofbrau. Yeah,
no,
it's just name is the ones that are actually the part of the chain. Pittsburgh, Chicago, and a couple other places. I think there's one in
Petersburg, Florida, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. There's bunch throughout there.
We were really surprised to find one in Pittsburgh. That was actually our first time we ever went to a Hofbrauhaus, and we really enjoyed it. The one in Pittsburgh has pierogies, which of course isn't a German food, but they were so good. Probably some of the best pierogies I've ever had in my life.
Blaine's always on top of it. I'm on the group. Okay. All right. Now, see, the group's not called a page. That's where it gets confusing. It's a Facebook group.
If you're in the group, there's probably tabs that go across, like for about and things like that.
Media,
you just need to go across. There should be an event tab on a group. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Kenneth. Appreciate that. Thanks, on for
being here, Kenneth. Thanks for the links too.
Yes.
Yeah, Munich. That's the main one there. Hey, thanks, Blaine. Putting Carmen's Facebook on there too.
Look at Blaine.
Awesome. Blaine is on it. Eyes wide, super. 1, 2, 3 down the hatch. That's what that means.
Yep.
All right. So in closing, okay. Now this is what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to ask you to tell us about your future upcomings with your channel. What are your plans? What do you want to do with it? And we'll say goodbye. And then I'm going to go over to a very short video. Then after that video, I'm going to ask you, both of y'all, to help me say goodbye. You know what to do.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and tell us about your future plans in your channel.
Well, we outlined our future trips, short term for the next several months. As far as what we're doing with the channel is we just try to put out short videos, not a lot of fluff in there, that help people travel affordably, geared more for the first timers. My philosophy for putting out a video is I want to put out a video if I learn something on the trip that I did not learn from YouTube. If it's not easily searchable on YouTube or the internet, but it's something that we learn through our travels, that's what I really want to make a video about. Like one of our first videos was about that cheapest hotel in Hawaii. You couldn't find information on this hotel outside of Google reviews before we went. But since we went, we've had a lot of views on that because people actually do searches for cheap Waikiki hotel.
Yeah, especially since on Waikiki, you're looking at least $200 to $300 a night.
Oh, yeah.
On something
More,
that was, that was less expensive, but still a good place to stay where
We've had a surge on one of our videos recently. Are you familiar with the travel and adventure shows? You know what those are?
The who? I'm sorry?
Travel and adventure shows. Do you know what those are?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, we put out a video a few months ago before we went to Europe on the travel and adventure show they did here in Dallas in March. And it was nothing video. It was a few minutes long. It was just something, almost a minimal effort video. But we did a walkthrough of the show to show what they had. That video actually is the #1 video search result on Google right now. And the video is getting tons of views now because when somebody does do a search for travel and adventure, it's almost one of the first links that comes up. So we're glad we put it out because obviously we're helping people find information that not many other people do. And that's our goal and mission is we're not going to put out, the 10 best highlights of whatever major city because Mark Walters has got that covered. We're not going to put out the loves and hates of this and that. She suggested the other day be loves and hates of Hofbrauhaus, and it's like no, I don't want to. I want to do anything that Mark Walters might do. I don't want to try to turn an invitation. I want to angle it information that people have not seen already.
Yeah, and we're not also the channel that says, "Look at us, we climbed up there, we're jumping off cliffs into the ocean or whatever." So it's things that we think as first-time travelers going to someplace that will help somebody else who is a first-time traveler.
That's cool.
That Wi-Fi hotspot that we tried. Not many results out there on actual daily real world use of a Wi-Fi hotspot. So that's the video we knew we had to use. Whether it got any views or not, that's the information we want to get out there for people.
Somebody will need it someday when they look for it. So
absolutely. I mean, I'm vlog style. I'm one of those who say, "Hey man, this is cool." I'm having fun. I'm having fun doing it. But I also have informational videos that just informational. But my goal is just vlog Germany, vlog my trips to Germany. Germany is great for me. I mean, there's other places I still want to go to, but Germany, that's my go-to spot. That's my
as YouTubers, our issue is somebody who subscribes to our channel. Half of our subscriptions come from cruising. Okay, half of our subscribers have come from our cruise videos. But when we put out a video on Hofbrauhaus or Spaghetti Ice or Gelato in Germany, the people who have subscribed to us because they liked one of our cruise videos doesn't have a lick of interest in a Gelato in Germany video.
Can you imagine not having an interest in Spaghetti Ice?
I know. So
that would be a sin.
So
I know.
Yeah. So we don't necessarily have a subscription problem. Our subscriptions are.
Thank you, On.
But when we do get a subscription, I understand why when we put out a video, not somebody who subscribed us because they liked our Hawaii video won't necessarily be interested in a budget hotel for Paris. So that's one thing I'm hoping that eventually we overcome is to find a big enough subscriber base that no matter what we put out there, YouTube will recommend it to people, somebody searching for Germany or Italy or whatever.
You have a conversation with Jorg on that.
Oh yeah, maybe forget trading. Oh yeah. So so we're hoping to keep grow the channel and get to that 1,000 subscriber plateau. Not that that's going to change.
Thank you for everything.
Or that's going to bring in a lot of money. Obviously, it's not about the money, but we're hoping after we pass by.
Common is sell goods.
There you go. We hope after we pass that 1,000 and we become the partner or whatever with YouTube, the affiliate partner, that they start sharing our videos a little bit more to the people who are looking for information on Germany. So so that's the future plans. Other than just keep traveling, we just want to help, especially first-time travelers, the older travelers. Not necessarily information on traveling with kids, but somebody who maybe has a few extra pounds on them and can't handle the stairs in Paris, and give them information on what it might be like for them to travel. So that's our goal. So we hope we can help some people.
Cool deal. All right, guys, we love you, and thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for what you do. We love you very much, and right there, keep those videos coming. And folks, in closing, check out my friends Mark and Terry at Escaping the Empty Nest.
Mike and Terry.
Mike and Terry. What did I say? Did I say Mike and Terry?
No.
What did I say?
I'm still giving you a hard time for the two.
Oh, well, it's Mark and Terry. What are you doing? Man, you got me there. So make sure to check them out, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. Great folks, and great content. So stay tuned for a short video, and at the very end of the short video, we'll say Douglas and Choose. And then after that Douglas and Choose, when we close out, hang out a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Good stuff. All right. Here we go. I'm going to pick anyone. I'm going to pick this one.
P-Work, see you right now.
Honey, that's advertising an awful lot.
Oh,
That's where we are.
I'm gonna put the sauce
There
on
it
the
is.
spaghetti.
I like this new live thing.
Get it.
Silly.
You were making it up.
Hey, what are you eating, Grace?
The spaghetti ice.
Billy, what are you eating?
The spaghetti ice.
So hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Spaghetti ice is yucky.
No, it's good. It's good.
You'll knock him over. Don't do that.
Spaghetti ice
You
pizza.
get to the roof.
That's it.
The spaghetti ice pizza, whoever that is. Jojo.
Yep.
Hey, you want some spaghetti ice, everyone? Whoever Jojo is. Where's that?
That's some good stuff. Here's my spaghetti ice. I'm gonna eat mine. Look here. I am in heaven.
But we are.
Spaghetti ice.
Oh, man, I'll never forget that day. That's an Omer guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Cafe Paracuda.
I thought you were
I'm
going to show the video from.
dry.
What's that?
Dry.
Douglas
Douglas and Shoes. Oh, yes, Bob. Do you know who Bob is?
And Mike.
and
And Mike.